Primetime, that's the name.
Primetime.
Primetime.
What time is it? Showtime, primetime.
It's XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.,
Son of a gun.
Matt Hayes,
His balls are different in person.
Mia O'Brien,
I don't know what they're doing.
and Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
What a gorgeous Friday. You can't ask for more. One of our old volunteer chairs, Nate Dogg, just walking off right now. He was the one leading the Red Coach many moons ago, and I tell you what, the volunteers are out and about again today, making sure everybody is here and happy. You look up, you see blue sky, you see sunshine, and a little bit of wind, which I will happily take. We lead off XL Primetime minus Big Search today. We do not have him today, but we've got a special guest, and we're going to have a bunch of fun throughout the course of the day, looking at the leaderboard, talking about the players, and then talking about the Jaguars and free agency. And he's not even out of makeup or anything, but the star of Ghost and a Jaguar fan, Asher Grodman, joins us now. Asher, how are you, bud?
Wait, I'm not out of makeup?
Yeah, you look
so I
good,
thought,
dude.
oh,
You
thank
look
you.
good.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
If I'm replacing Leon Searcy, those are big shoes to fill in many ways.
All I know is you really you're gambling right now, Asher.
Am I?
You went with the pant look on an 80-degree day. I'm impressed.
I won't lie. There was another shirt that I was thinking about wearing, and I was like, if it's gonna be warm.
Right.
But I've been up in Montreal for the last 3 months shooting, so 80 degrees doesn't really make sense to me.
You just want to sweat a little bit.
I honestly thought
Is
I
your
should
blood
bring a jacket,
thickened?
right?
Right.
I should.
Has your blood thickened is going to be the question.
Whatever's happening biologically is
But
alarming.
you know what the good look says, Matt, is that he may have a chalet in his future. Okay?
Maybe.
He may be
Maybe.
in some air-conditioned space in just a little
Yeah,
while.
that is definitely the plan.
Yeah. All right, now
won't
listen,
lie.
before we ask you about the Jags, and Asher Grodman, if you guys don't know, he is a star on CBS Ghost and plays really a great character, and it's such a fun watch, but he's also a diehard Jaguar fan, and he was part of the schedule release, and that's when we first were able to get him on XL Primetime, and you can go back and watch it, and it was awesome. But before we talk Jaguar football, just the essence of all this around here, how cool is it to be out here? This is a worldwide event.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. First of all, the crowds here, it's crazy. I blocked out like an hour to get here because I knew it was going to be, a lot of people, traffic, stuff like that. It took me 2, and I was late. And I'm from New York. Like I anticipate traffic. But yeah, the vibe here is amazing. Seeing everyone coming out, a lot of Jaguars gear out there, so that's fun. And I was here last year, and I just had a blast. It's when I got to meet a lot of the players and a lot of the Jags players, not the golfers. I don't think they're available for conversations right now. It was such a thrill. So, and we were talking off air.
Yeah, you got to tell the story.
This time last year is when the Jags social media group, Devin Carvajal actually, who does a lot of the graphics for them, who's a genius. First approached me about, we have this idea, schedule release, maybe something about the NFL being scripted. We don't know what it is yet. And that conversation kind of started here. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'd be down for that. That sounds fun. Let's play with it. And then meetings after meetings after meetings. And eventually
then filming script meetings as part
filming
of the
script
video.
meetings,
Yes.
that's right. Yeah, it was, we were talking about P. Cavan. I hope it's okay to shout these guys out.
Oh,
'cause
yeah, absolutely.
Patrick Kavanaugh and all of them.
Hey, listen,
And
we love all
great.
those guys.
And Everett Sullivan, who I told them I'm deathly afraid of stepping on anyone's toes, and they were like, step on people's toes. Come on, take a lead here, and we had a lot of meetings, and eventually I was like, all right, how about everyone write a script, and then if you still like mine at the end of it, then we can do mine, and that's what happened, and they were great. That whole the social media department, the media department, it was such a unique opportunity where this like big business operated and so collaboratively. I had access to all these different resources, and it was just such a thrill. It was still like, I don't know that I'm going to top it. I may do some other fun shows and everything, but is anything going to be cooler than that?
No.
My question is, are you working on the script for the 2024 Jaguars as we speak?
I have hopes. I have hopes.
All right.
Are you talking about the schedule release or the script itself?
You could take that question with however you would like.
Okay.
Yeah, however you would like.
Or the draft, you know.
Or the draft.
Or the roster, or how the season's going to go.
I can't touch the draft yet.
Or fix 5 of the last 6 L's. Please script that out.
Right.
I don't think that was in your script.
All I can say is I'm pretty sure I was shooting in Montreal at that point, so I'm not responsible.
It's true.
For those.
You were at the Titans game.
I was, yeah. See, and that went really
well.
well.
That was the last time I saw you, and I was like, man, the lucky charm. Here he is. Just let him step out.
And they looked so bad at that game. The Titans looked horrible.
Right.
At that game.
And then all of a sudden we fast forward to week 18.
I know. I never.
If you had flown into Nashville, it would have been a different story.
Yeah.
Alas.
So listen, man, we all love New York. We've all been there. But this whole event, does this not just encapsulate what living in Florida generally and on the First Coast specifically? Doesn't it just encapsulate what it's all about?
Are you just trying to highlight that this would never happen in New York?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
That's fair.
And for those of us who grew up in the Northeast, this is still hard to wrap your brain
it's
around.
a whole different vibe. I was trying to get over here. They roped off one of the golf courses for the players to walk through, and the idea of a crowd in New York waiting
for anything.
Well, for the rope to come down for these 3 golfers to walk, not even play, just to walk through.
Get out of here!
It's please. Yeah. No, it's gorgeous, and even just stepping out of the hotel this morning and smelling the ocean.
Yeah.
It's just a magical place. So
All right,
very
we got
glad to be here.
couple more for Asher Grobman. He is star of Ghost. He is a Jaguar fan, so you got to love that. The free agent class. How much have you paid attention? What did you think? Because we were kind of locked on the Calvin watch there for a while, but all in all, pretty good.
How much have I paid attention? What are you talking? Of course I've paid attention. Yeah, I mean, look, Calvin would have been great if it happened. I think he got so much money that it wasn't. I wouldn't like it if they had paid him that much money. I just think it's so much. We were saying off the air, I got a real affinity for the guys who I got to work with in the schedule release, and I think if you sign Calvin, you probably don't keep Zay, and I think Zay is just an incredible athlete and an incredible locker room presence. So I'm thrilled that he's here. I think Eric Armstead's probably the biggest win in free agency.
They needed that.
It is hard to get pressure up the middle, and he's a guy who can do it. I'm pretty sure Trent Baalke drafted him.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when he was in San Francisco.
Does that count then as a Trent draft pick?
There you go.
Hey, listen, if we're keeping a tally, he was
fair.
a Trent draft pick.
Fair point. I think what I like about the free agent class is that a lot of these guys have connections to Doug, or in that case Trent, and so these are guys that we're giving money to who they seem you assume they know what they're getting.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's a huge move. I think Morse at center is a great move. Let's protect Trevor a little bit. Again, I would like all these roles to have been filled by draft picks. I think an interesting thing at safety with Antonio Johnson is such a talented guy, and then went out and got a Savage, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Darnell Savage, yeah.
So interesting to see what happens there. But yeah, a lot of good stuff. I think there's rumors that more stuff could be happening.
That would be nice.
Well, which would be gigantic if the one rumor of Brandon Ayuk becomes a reality. Then
and what would you give up for that?
Me and I were talking about this earlier. I would think long and hard about the first.
Because the 17th pick.
The 17th, because if you're going to take a receiver at 17, I get the fact that you're going to have him on a cheap contract for 4 years, but you don't know what he's going to be.
Right.
You know what Brandon Ayuk is. You clearly know what he is.
But you have to give up first rounder, and you got to pay him a bunch of money.
Yeah.
So.
And Trent's track record has shown that he would rather pay an established wide receiver, or at least during his tenure in Jacksonville, an ascending guy who's 25, about to turn 26, enter the prime, as opposed to taking the risk of drafting someone, which is probably buyer's remorse from his time in San Francisco. Only drafted one wide receiver in the first round, blew up in his face, and so.
What is the deal that he's on now?
He's on his fifth year.
He's on his fifth year option.
Ayuk's on the fifth year option.
So it's
he's going to cost more than what Ridley wanted.
And that's the big thing, too, that I want to make sure we discuss, because I was on 95.7 in San Francisco this morning. They saw my report, and, they're all running with it. Part of this, and Asher, you know this from working in the Hollywood world, part of this, too, is Brandon Ayuk's camp understands that a big payday is awaiting him somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere, whether that's in San Francisco or somewhere else. And so building up rapport with the rest of the league is very vital. This is your second time on XL Primetime, I believe, second or third. I don't know if I don't know.
Might be third, actually.
Third? I don't know if you've ever been part of one of these before, Asher, but JJ, could we hit that real quick, please?
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Massive news in the landscape of the National Football League, unrelated to your Jaguars, but still important. The Los Angeles Rams' Aaron Donald has announced he is retiring.
Wow.
It was rumored last offseason, but now it's official.
And so now the ascent of Chris Jones as the best inside man in football is real and alive. Wow, what a great career.
Aaron Donald, just 32 years old, too, boys. Won't turn 33 until May.
They make enough. They stay healthy for the rest of their lives. They can walk away when they want.
He's got 4 young kids. Yeah, just go have fun,
ring.
man.
Remember, that's all he was showing was that ring when he made that play.
He'll be in the
Burrow.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I was there for that. I was on the sideline. Not on the side. I was on the 50-yard line. It was the first Super Bowl after the show started airing, and CBS got us very good seats.
Oh, nice.
And I watched that play happen, and I was rooting for the Bengals.
You're loving that,
But
dude.
I was very aware of how good of a player.
So you are coming
Aaron
up on what,
Donald is.
5th season now of Ghost? Is that right?
Coming up on the 4th season. But also, I was there, so I saw Aaron Donald. Unfortunately, Urban Meyer still probably doesn't know who he is. So
I like that. I like how you got that in. That's impressive.
You know.
He wanted to make sure.
Yes, we're going to go start the 4th season over the summer. I had to go back just to
I know you did.
Urban
Now
Meyer
it's
real
impressive.
Work it
Believe
in.
me.
Work it in. That's the part of the script.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, dude. We hope that when you do come back, as far as the Jaguar game and whatnot, we can kind of orchestrate and line up. Maybe come and hang out with us for a little bit on the show. It'd be awesome.
Please, I would love that.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah, thank you very much.
sir.
Asher Grobden, make sure you find him out on social. He's very active there. He's a diehard Jaguar fan. And then, of course, Ghost on CBS. Thank you, sir. We got Asher leading us off. We got the tournament director, the closer we normally call him at the end of our show, Lee Smith. He is coming in as we motion to the bullpen on XL Primetime.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealers Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. It's the biggest event to hit the First Coast since the Florida-Georgia game.
The Players Championship.
Get live Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard updates brought to you by Coastal Equipment, First Coast Honda Dealers, and Kingfish Pest Control.
On 1010XL.
At Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville, we have over 40 2024 all-electric Cadillac Lyrics in stock.
Take advantage today of 2 awesome incentives.
First, a $7,500 rebate applied to the purchase price directly at signing.
That's a $7,500 rebate with no need to wait for tax time.
And second, a $1,500 credit for a high-speed in-home charger.
Over $9,000 in savings.
Now's the time to drive away in luxury in a brand new all-electric Cadillac Lyric.
Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville, plus tax tag title $899 admin fee and resistol.
Tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Pickett here, the Borland Groover Foundation proudly presents the annual March to Get Screened 5K race and 1 mile fun run. Sunday, April 14th, the race starts at 7 a.m. under the Fuller Warren Bridge. Their mission, raise awareness about colorectal cancer and related deaths. All proceeds benefit the Borland Groover Foundation. It's a nonprofit organization devoted to building a healthy and equitable community that is free from colon cancer. Visit BorlandGrooverFoundation.com for more.
Hey there, poker players and entertainment enthusiasts. The moment you've been waiting for has arrived. The Run Good Poker Series is blazing its way through Best Bet Jacksonville now through March 24th. Get in on the action with 10 poker events, highlighted by the $1,200 no-limit hold'em main event, boasting a $300,000 guaranteed prize pool. And that's not all. Dive into the action of event number 1, $400 no-limit hold'em, with an impressive $100,000 guarantee up for grabs. Ready to secure your seat at the tables? Win your entry through satellites taking place now. For tournament instructions and all the details, head to bestbetjacks.com. Join us at Best Bet Jacksonville for the Run Good Poker Series.
Atlantic Self-Storage, the official storage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Garage getting too full with stuff? Need a place to park your boat or RV? Store it all at Atlantic Self-Storage. Tons of locations in Northeast Florida. 24-hour access and month-to-month rental agreements. Moving, they can help with supplies. Heading to the Players? Look for the storage locker and free bag check at the Fan Gift Shop courtesy of Atlantic Self-Storage. Go to AtlanticSelfStorage.com to find the location and move-in special closest to you.
You can't go inside your home team's locker room, so Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline goes there for you.
Work on three, 1, 2, 3. Hayes Carline here. Find my blog at 1010XL.com.
Brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing, where quality and experience count.
Remember that the Big Diamond Store doesn't want you to shop and compare. They know they can't beat Beard's Diamond's prices.
Right now, it's 0% financing for 5 years, plus get 0 down on everything in the store.
Don't buy anywhere until you shop Beard's Diamonds.
If you are having problems related to selling your home, here's your solution.
You just have not discovered ChadandSandy.com. That's ChadandSandy.com. Listen, maybe the problem is you need more space for your office or growing family, or perhaps you're worried about settling for less money with a lowball instant offer. We've got one guarantee here that always rings true. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. It's as simple as that. So you need to call 904-414-6200 or go to ChadandSandy.com like Jonathan in Mount Pleasant did. The only thing standing between me and my dream of traveling in my RV was the sale of my Mount Pleasant home. I heard Chad and Sandy on the radio and called. Crazy results. In just 3 days, I received multiple offers for full asking price. So you don't have the problems you think you do. You have solutions and promises with Chad and Sandy. Go to ChadandSandy.com or call 904-414-6200 at ChadandSandy.com.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
We don't have too many cold nights on the First Coast, but when the temperature drops, you want to hit the heat button and warm up. That's where Florida Home comes in. They're the AC experts in Jacksonville, and the importance of keeping your heating system in good working order is really important. If it stops working when it gets cooler, Florida Home will leap into action and provide you with the best solution. Heater and heat pump repair service and new system installation. They do it all. Just call Florida Home AC at 777-4300, the official heating and AC partner of the Jaguars.
Is your roof showing signs of wear and tear? Call Universal Roof and Contracting today to schedule your complimentary roof inspection. Right now, get $200 off your roof replacement plus flexible financing. And as a bonus, receive free window mitigation with a full roof replacement. This offer expires March 31st and restrictions apply. Universal Roof and Contracting, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. Keeping your body healthy and active leads to a more vibrant life. A great place to do that is the First Coast YMCA. The Y is equipped with state-of-the-art cardio and strength equipment, plus group exercise studios where trainers host activities like yoga, Zumba, and cycling sessions. The full-court basketball gym and indoor 5-lane swimming pool are open year-round. The Kid Zone can keep an eye on your kids while you work on that dad bod. And it's all available with your family membership. Learn more at fcymca.org.
The Players' Championship. Here's a 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Leaderboard Update.
A bright, beautiful day here at the 50th Players' Championship. High-flying Jacko here with this leaderboard update. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson and by Sawgrass Asset Management. The cut lines now at 1 under could change, but several high-profile names are in the black, need to get it together if they have desires to play for the big money this coming weekend, including Justin Thomas, Steve Stricker, Matthew Pavon, and Jordan Spieth, all over par and need to post some red numbers today. Let's take a look at the leaderboard right now. Wyndham Clark with a 2-stroke lead with an 11 under par score after 12 holes. He's 4 under for the day. Matty Schmid and J.T. Poston, along with Scotty Scheffler, 2 shots back, all at 9 under par. Matt Fitzpatrick and Corey Connors, 3 shots back at 8 under par. They've played through 12. Keith Mitchell, 4 shots back after 14 holes. Keith Mitchell at 7 under, along with Xander Schauffele and Rory McIlroy. They both tee off shortly around 1:30 this afternoon on hole number 1. A couple of players are at 6 under. Chris Kirk and Nick Taylor. Hideki Matsuyama at 5 under, along with Harris English and Brian Harmon. Sahith Theegala at 5 under par, along with Maverick McNeely and Chan Kim. I'm Jack O'Brien. We're live from the Palm Valley Village behind the 9th green here at the 50th Players Championship, reporting every 20 minutes with leaderboard updates. Thanks so much for listening. We'll be right back.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's a big hair, heavy metal Friday on XL Primetime.
We may be live at the stadium course, but that doesn't mean, Josie, that we're forgetting what day of the week it is.
It's Big Hair Heavy Metal, and I just looked at Lee Smith's eyes, the closer that usually joined us on Thursdays to close out our show. He's the tournament director of the players. What was he doing over there? A little air guitar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, head banging.
Yes. Yes.
Hey,
First time joining us on a Big Hair Heavy Metal Friday. So he's
Absolutely.
living it up, a true nooner. Absolutely. Well, Lee, it's great to see you. Obviously, yesterday, a little bit busy. First day of competition, your first year as the tournament director. What has it been like the last 96? I know it feels like it's been 9,600 hours, I'm sure, but this last week, what has it been like for you up to this point?
Well, the tournament business, I think you kind of have hurdles that you get over throughout the week. You start the week, that's always great. You've done a ton of preparation and getting through Wednesday and actually getting real golf started inside the ropes on a Thursday is fantastic. And then certainly playing Friday and making a cut starts to move you closer and closer to giving away a trophy on Sunday. So it's always great for our team to start seeing fans, come in the gates. And, with the weather that we've had, that I've been told that everybody's got a smile on their face when you got weather like this.
So we're 2 days in now, and I don't really want to use this word, but I'm going to use it. Have you exhaled yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so things are going as planned then.
Yeah, when you run spectator events like this, there's always fires. You prepare for them.
Right.
I like to use the analogy as we're just hoping that there are only 1 and 2 alarm fires, and we don't run into any 3 and 4 alarm fires. And we've had a few small things, but no, it's been great so far. And like I say, with leaderboard shaping up like it is, got some big time names that had good rounds yesterday that are yet to tee off this afternoon. Great crowd has already come in the gates and expecting a good crowd coming in this afternoon and more good weather. I mean, we're living on cloud 9 right now.
So we're talking with Lee Smith, the closer. He's the tournament director for the players, his first year. And I told Mike Dempsey this earlier in the handoff. And I said, this was not that long ago. And I just felt terrible for Jared. And I mentioned it to Jared Rice. On a Tuesday, he knew the forecast was going to force them to not finish on Sunday. On a Tuesday, he knew that. On this Tuesday, you knew this was going to be kick-ass weather for the next 6 days, which is just a blessing.
Absolutely. We share trailers. It's some tournament staff, rules, and weather. And what we don't want to do is we don't want to live in the weather trailer. We don't want to go over there and have to speak too awful much to our meteorologist. So seeing him walking through the parking lots, I am just asking, hey, just double checking on your reports.
Yeah.
But he's great and certainly has given us a very good report so far this week. We wake up in Florida with a 20% chance of rain.
True.
So
Every day.
it's always there. And so things could pop up, but we're knocking on wood. It looks really, really good.
I'm walking back and forth from the media center, and I'm looking at the palm trees right now. They're not blowing, but I'm walking earlier, and it was a good 10 to 12 to maybe 15. And I'm like, okay, let's see a little bit more of that in the afternoon. Let's just see how this leaderboard takes shape. That's the teeth of this golf course.
Yeah, the golf course is a little bit soft with that 2.5 inches of rain that we had Saturday night. The negative is the golf course is a little bit soft. The positive is that rough is a little bit more lush and thick and growing. So a give and take there. But I think this is an opportunity when the winds, like you're saying, when the winds are down, this golf course, especially when it's soft, they can take dead aim, and these players are so good. You got to have some wind to kind of knock them off balance a little bit.
I know that's been a critique from some of the visiting international and even national media, not native here to the Jacksonville area. They've commented that they feel like the rough is almost even more lush this year. Have you felt like that, comparatively speaking, to previous tournaments? Is there anything that was done differently, or is it just the nature of maybe we had a little bit wetter of a winter than we did previous installments?
Yeah, nothing necessarily intentional. We more focus on length of the rough. We mowed the rough at about 3 inches on Tuesday, I believe. Topped it off on Tuesday, and then most likely let it go, throughout the weekend. But yeah, I think that dry rainy and kind of cool spring leading up to it. The ryegrass just loves those kind of temperatures and certainly thrives in it.
I was walking around 9. I like the broccoli. It's fine. They need to struggle a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that, especially if the wind picks up. Then you've got a little, it becomes testy. then it's much tougher to get on the green. Then you're in the broccoli. I don't mind that at all. It's good for the tournament, right?
No, absolutely. I mean, you want the golf course to, in my opinion, you want the golf course to reward good shots.
Yes.
And slightly penalize offline shots.
Yes.
And when you hit it in the rough on a par 5 and have to lay up down there, I think it was Justin and Ricky both hit it right as I was walking past the TV, right of 16, had to lay up. I think Ricky might have made birdie anyways. But yeah, it's if that can cost you kind of a half shot to hit it in the rough, I think that's the way the golf course is supposed to be played.
All right, we're still going to have to ask you the pertinent questions before we turn you loose, even though we just like talking golf. This afternoon, Asher Grodman, he says he drives in New York all the time. He's used to delays. He goes, it took me a couple hours to get out here. So anything you want to tell the public out there, Nocatee Parkway, honestly, is not used enough. It really is. Yep. So throw some advice their way.
I'll tell you one thing. I actually had a friend of mine who came and got on to A1A going south, ended up just going straight, taking a left, going and getting on A1A, passing the place, and then coming north on A1A. And on his GPS ended up saving 20 minutes on a 28-minute ride. So I think there are some alternate routes out there if you are driving.
Yeah.
But as we've mentioned before, there's so many ways to get here. If you're local, we got bicycles, we got golf carts. Our ride share presented by True Green is a great way, especially if you're going to come out and have a good time.
That's true.
Parking is sold out on today and tomorrow. We're very nearing a ticket sellout for tomorrow, which could come very soon. So we're certainly expecting big crowds, hoping for great weather, and certainly the leaderboard probably going to dictate a little bit of that too.
I'm glad you gave us that update on the parking, because I know yesterday that was a big question. That's crazy about the tickets too. I would think lots of folks, just because now the forecast suggests it's a little bit kinder, now the tickets are going like hotcakes.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of things that come into play when it comes to buying tickets. People wait and want to make sure the weather's good. Obviously,
they wait
seeing
for somebody to call.
Yeah. The comps to come through. And then they also wait for a great leaderboard and what stacks up to be an exciting golf Saturday. And like I say, we're very nearing that sellout, and we're excited to possibly be able to do that for the first time with a full field and a full crowd.
Listen, man, we love it. We appreciate it. Anything you need to pass on, you, Tracy, anybody, just let us know, and we'll make sure we pass the word.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. I'll tell you one thing that we haven't talked about that I think is important, just real quick, Joe, is some sustainability efforts around this golf tournament. And I know it's not necessarily the sexy stuff, but
those Sawgrass Splash containers, though, the drink vessels,
recyclable,
certainly are sexy.
Recyclable, that's part of it. Last year, the unused food in our hospitality venues, we served 15,000 meals with our partner at Feeding Northeast Florida. 42,000 pounds of recycling.
Wow.
And that is all hand sorted through these. We hire a group that back fills up bins. And then if you can imagine all the fan shop sales that we do, all the cardboard, plastic, and tissue paper that all those garments come in, we recycle every single piece of that too. So amongst a lot of other things, but really a great effort behind the scenes that doesn't get noted all that much.
Hey. Take that, Waste Management, Phoenix Open. Take that. All right, and I'll tell you a real quick one. Matt Kilcullen, this is one of the most selfless things I've ever seen. He was a head basketball coach, and he came out here and he volunteered, and he started in trash.
Yep.
And he said, I'm going to do whatever the tough job is just to make sure I do my part here. So that's good. That's awesome. Lee, thank you very much. We will talk to our tournament director as we go along. Anything happens, we will pass the word. We're going to keep an eye on that leaderboard with our man Jack O'Brien coming up on XL Primetime.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Wonder what this does. I should pull it.
1010XL 92.5 FM.
At Honda, we appreciate all the comparisons to other vehicles. And no matter how many times they compare their vehicles to a Honda, only a Honda is a Honda. Remember, value, quality, safety, there is no substitute. Visit your local Honda dealer now and experience the difference.
Get ready for the Players' Championship, March 12th through 17th at TPC Sawgrass. Don't miss your chance to watch the PGA Tour's best compete to etch their name in history while enjoying a vibrant social scene. From local bites to the latest merchandise available in the PGA Tour fan shop, the Players offers the ultimate experience for everyone to enjoy. Secure your spot today. Tickets are on sale now at theplayers.com.
Ready to spice up your Wednesday? Head to Players Grill for Wing Wednesday. Enjoy mouth-watering wings for just 75 cents each. Plus, make it a happy hour all day long. Cheers to unbeatable deals and good times. Players Grill, where the neighborhood meets.
Did you know Prime Roofing manufactures, fabricates, and installs their metal roofs? If you're thinking about a metal roof, think Prime Roofing. Schedule an estimate today at primeroofingfl.com. That's primeroofingfl.com.
Step into Madness Thursday with a Frangie Show live at Boston's in the River City Marketplace. Then join Baloo and Hacker as they take you into the night, 6 to 10 at Mr. Chubby's in Ponte Vedra. It's fun food and drink specials as the tourney tips off Thursday.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. No credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan. Hey, it's Prosser here, and Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make that happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value's way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards and get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. So call now, 904-999-1508, 904-999-1508. That's loanpronto.com at 904-999-1508. NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
When it's time for the March Mania brackets to bust wide open. As I was saying, it's mad. The Mania of March at BetUS.com is all about those buzzer beat bonus offers. And when the madness starts and Cinderella man steps onto the BetUS always has your back with back-to-back 125% sign-up bonuses on your first 3 deposits and even 10% gambler's insurance. BetUS.com Sportsbook and Casino, where the game... Join today. BetUS Sportsbook and Casino, where the game begins.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-IHRS 777-4477.
The most common form of treatment for the arthritic joints is normally cortisone injections and gel shots and over-the-counter medications. And most patients have tried all of that and are still in pain.
Every day, Dr. Aaron Wolkoff, a QC Kinetics medical director, meets patients who have exhausted every method to get relief. They've been told surgery is their only option.
They want to stay away from that path, and they come to us almost as the last hope. So we're using our own body's properties to help manage pain, to help slow arthritis down, keep the patients active with no downtime, and getting back to what they enjoy doing. I mean, I love what I do.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments from our board-certified providers help heal and restore aching joints. No surgery, harmful drugs, or downtime. Call for your free consultation today.
QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522.
Denny Thompson here. Tackle burglars and protect your turf. Give yourself peace of mind catching everything around your home with Tyson Sound & Security's cutting-edge surveillance cameras. For safety and convenience, Tyson has you covered for all home cameras and security systems. I'm talking HD recording, night vision, and remote alerts all from your phone or computer. Call Tyson Sound & Security right now at 904-762-1000. Tyson Sound & Security. Security and automation experts.
The Players' Championship. Here's a 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Leaderboard update.
Well, it must be National Play Hooky Day Friday afternoon here at the Players Championship. The most beautiful weather we've enjoyed in many years. And 1010XL's here all throughout the day and weekend. Thanks for tuning in. High Flying Jacko here with this update brought to you by Universal Roof and Contracting. Wyndham Clark with birdies on 5 of his last 6 holes, including 4 in a row to open the second side. That's the front side. He's now 5 under for the day, 12 under for the tournament. He leads by 2 shots over Matt Schmid at 10 under par. Schmid eagles 16 and birdie 17. He's now playing the 18th hole, 2 shots back at 10 under. At 9 under par, Scotty Scheffler after 14, along with J.T. Poston, who is also 9 under. Poston 6 under for the day. Matt Fitzpatrick, after 14 holes, is at 8 under. He's 2 under for the day. Corey Connors at 8 under. A short group at 7 under about to tee off. Xander Schauffele and Rory McIlroy are going off shortly at 1:30 on the front side. And at 6 under par, Keith Mitchell and Brian Harmon, along with Chris Kirk and Sahith Theegala at 6 under par. They're in the middle of their rounds. We are live at the Players Championship, the 50th anniversary. I'm Jack O'Brien with leaderboard updates. We'll return in 20 minutes. Thanks for listening.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's a big hair, heavy metal Friday on XL Primetime.
Such a fun time being out here at the Players. TPC Sawgrass, the stadium course, and it is on tilt right now with a number of players going out there and snatching birdies. You just heard Jacko's update, and there's a lot of good storylines, maybe not as many familiar names that you like. Hit the guy, I've heard of him, but what do I know about him? And some of these other guys like Matty Schmid from Germany, we'll kind of roll through them, but you know who the heavy hitters are as well. So we're talking players. We're talking free agency with your Jacksonville Jaguars. You need to get back to the Eric Armstead conversation. But, JJ, fire us up with a giveaway right now. Let's treat the Nooners.
Yes, I have a pair of tickets to see Whitney Cummings live at the Florida Theater November 16th. So be caller number 4 right now, 641-1010.
Never too early to start planning for your events in the fall. We're already planning for football season, so why not also get your comedy tickets going too?
Yeah, exactly. So make sure you want to go. You can enjoy that. 641-1010. Get hooked up. JJ will take care of you. That's for sure. So, a lot happened in the last, say, 72 hours. Then you go down to the last 24 hours, and Eric Armstead comes into the fold. And as we were talking with Asher Grodman earlier, does Trent Baalke get to take credit for him as a draft pick? Well, guy's been around for a while. Since 2015, he was one of Baalke's guys out there in San Francisco.
Lord knows there's nobody from the 2015 draft class left here in Jacksonville, so.
No.
I'll take what we can get.
And so what it does is it still does scream long and tooth, okay, because that's a decade worth of playing. It's playing a tough position, Matt, inside as well. But when we signed off yesterday, Mia was down at the Mecca, we were here, and we said one very simple thing. That interior defensive line still has not been addressed, okay? And if they're going to make a play, a Mike Williams and an Eric Armstead, of course, the whole Brandon Ayuk conversation was out there. But I'm happy that he goes out and gets that guy to go alongside whatever that draft pick might be to see if they can shore up the middle and make things a little bit more difficult for opposing quarterbacks.
I said yesterday that I didn't know if I would go after Armstead just because, he's up in age clearly. He's chasing money clearly. I still feel the same way.
There's nothing wrong with being lukewarm on it.
Yeah, I'm just a little lukewarm on it because I've seen too many guys his age, specifically interior linemen too, on both sides of the ball, that you're chasing money at the end of your career.
So are you saying?
And it kind of doesn't, and it's especially happened here, if you know what I mean. Andrew Norwell, and we can go down the list. You know what I mean? Right. So
you just gave me indigestion.
Look. I don't want to be the negative guy, and I'm not saying it's not going to work. I'm just saying I'm not all in on it like everyone else is. That's all.
So the comp that I heard from many people out on the course, just Jaguar fans, myself and John Party doing some fun video segments here at the Players Championship today. The comp I kept hearing from you Nooners and you Jaguar fans out there was, number one, best interior defensive line signing, as well as perhaps the next iteration of a Calais Campbell. Calais Campbell signed in Jacksonville in 2017. By my math, knowing he was born September 1st of 1986, that means that Calais Campbell's first game as a Jaguar in 2017, he was 31 years old. Am I doing the math here? 1986 to 2017, 14 plus 17, Matt? That is 31 years old, is it not?
Correct.
So Calais Campbell was 31 years old the first game he played as a Jaguar. Eric Armstead, I believe, will turn 31 during the upcoming season.
I do like that. I think there's nothing wrong with coming in with enthusiasm, the old offseason.
But we're also, let's be honest, we're also comparing him to, a guy that was rare.
Yeah. Oh, my
gosh. So here's the stat, Matt. I mean, this is from Next Gen Stats, and I understand Eric Armstead has had injury struggles at times. We know he's recovering from a torn meniscus that he played through up and through the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, this is according to Next Gen Stats, aligning as a left interior defensive lineman in a 4-3 scheme, his highest rate of pressure since 2016. Tied for the third most pressures in the NFL on such snaps when he was lined up at the left interior. Roy Robertson-Harris was the lone Jaguars defensive tackle to generate more than 15 pressures last season.
Right. And let's not forget.
Wait, he was on the left side?
Yeah. Well,
so
interior left. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So he was next to Bosa.
Yeah. Yeah. And so Bosa, he profits off of Bosa. There's no question. Let's also remember, in the middle of the year, what'd they do? They went and got Chase Young. Yeah. They said, we're not completely happy with what we're doing right here. And so they had a formidable front. There's no doubt about that. But what you have to do right now is make sure that you get as much out of a veteran that's still and I was going to say chase a ring. He left a place where he was not chasing.
Well,
ring,
he left a place where he could have won a ring this year.
Yeah, where they were very much in this. Okay, we watched them work with the lead in the Super Bowl, and then ultimately couldn't stop Mahomes and company in the second half. So he leaves what you would consider a great situation, but also that money that they spent out there to assemble that team, a little bit tougher for them to keep it. And this team manufactured quite a bit with friendly cap figures and with releasing other guys. And so come in here, get hungry. Let's see what Ryan Nielsen can do with all these guys. The enthusiasm of the coordinator apparently is a very positive thing that he's bringing to the table. And let's just go ahead and see if Ryan Nielsen can get – and I don't mind the Calais comp. Calais Campbell came in here, and you're looking at, okay, he played as an outside on a 3. What's he going to be able to do here? He won over this town. He's the one who named it Saxonville. So I'd love to see a guy like that come in and still make some plays.
They're clearly similar games. They're interior guys that can rush the passer. Mm-hmm. And if need be, if you move to an out front, he's a guy that can play in.
Right.
So very similar games. There's no doubt about that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I love it. You guys can hit the text line 641-1010. And let us know exactly what you think about that last decision that was made. It was the biggest decision to answer the Calvin Ridley loss. I think that's what it was more than anything else.
And I think what's wild, Josie, is you go back to our show 48 hours ago on a Wednesday in which we did our pre-Ridley decision mock draft. Mm-hmm. At that point, because no news is good news, I think I speak for all four of us when I say we thought Calvin Ridley would be back in the fold, wide receiver would not be addressed in the NFL draft. We felt that interior defensive line was still a gaping hole that needed to be addressed, perhaps in the first round of the NFL draft. Now, perhaps, this gives you that wiggle room that if you wanted to select a corner at 17th overall, if you wanted to, dare I say, get another edge rusher at 17 overall, you have that flexibility now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not? I understand Matt's reservations that Armstead's getting up there in years.
No, my reservation with that is we're automatically going to, like, corner and edge. And how about just a guy that can protect your quarterback?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm going to beat that drum until it's dead.
Well,
I'll tell you that right now.
Because I wanted big men on both sides.
Yeah.
And I wanted that interior defensive lineman this time yesterday as much as anything because of the gaping hole that was still there. They now have answered that bell. Now they do have the flexibility of what – let's make this the 10-10 take, JJ. And this is honestly what you're hoping to do when you go into every draft.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pit masters since '68.
You come into No Flow, you expect some good barbecue. So if you're visiting, look for an area of Sonny's and enjoy some of that slow smoked ribs, chicken, pork, turkey, whatever it might be, along with those tremendous sides. Check out Sonny's. So the flexibility of what Trent Baalke has done to this point is to go into the draft with options. You now can look at best player available at a number of key positions. You can talk edge rusher. You can talk really outside linebacker. You can talk cornerback, interior defensive lineman, interior offensive lineman. Even if Fashanu, if he were able to fall in that tackle spot, could play interiorly. Cornerback. Bottom line is there are a lot of options that are available to this team where you can play with that best player available mantra at the 17th pick
that's
and
what it
not
is.
feel like you have blown it. That is the 10-10 take. That's at the very least what Trent Baalke has done. He went out, he replaced starters with affordable cap figures, and now you can be as aggressive as you want to be in making a decision at 17.
That's it. It's given them these moves have given them the flexibility to take best player available, and that's just. I get it. I totally get it, and I know a majority of the teams take best player available no matter what. My whole thing is your entire franchise is your quarterback, the number one thing is to keep him up, keep him straight, and keep him from being injured. And look what happened last year when he was injured. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so you can't count on anything. We can't count on Ronald Darby being 100% healthy.
No.
We can't count on Savage coming in and immediately competing for the safety spot or basically safety / nickel, him and Antonio Johnson locking him up. There's no guarantee. You just got to hope. And the other guys that are coming in, obviously, Gabe Davis has got to become that yards per catch savior down the field and make those big plays. He ain't gonna be Calvin. You're cutting, the Calvin production by 20-some catches. But at the same time, he got in the end zone a bunch, too.
It's also, as Matt has said all week, it's about the Calvin thing, which, by the way, we're going to play the sound from Calvin Ridley's introductory press conference in Tennessee because I think you Nooners out there are going to want to hear it. But to Matt's point, you go back to 2022, in which the Jaguars did not have a number one wide receiver, but they maximized Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, Marvin Jones. They were efficient. The number of targets versus the number of catches met the number. It wasn't, what was it last year with Calvin Ridley? Somebody said it to me yesterday at the press conference. As much as, yes, Calvin Ridley has the potential to be a number one bona fide wide receiver, last season with the Jacksonville Jaguars, he was targeted 136 times and he had 76 catches. Mm-hmm. That translates to 60 dropped passes or 60 incompletions, does it not?
Almost a 2-for-1.
Right. That number needs to be better. Let's go to Marvin Jones.
For your one, no doubt about it.
Right. Let's go to Marvin Jones Jr., who for some reason is not showing up on there he is, on old Pro Football Reference. I know he retired midseason last year, but hey, in 2022, Marvin Jones, 81 targets, 46 catches. Again, kind of a half-and-half situation there. Mm-hmm. Zay Jones, which Asher Grodman, thank you again for joining us in the beginning segments of the 12 o'clock hour. But when Zay Jones was healthy in 2022, he had 121 targets, which is similar to that 136 number for Ridley, 82 catches when healthy. I understand that Ridley and Zay are different players. They do different things. But give me that 82 for 121 all day when healthy. I'm sorry. And I said it to multiple people down at the bank yesterday. I said, look, I understand the immense talent that Calvin Ridley can be. But I just want someone who's reliable, who's going to be where you ask him to be and who has good rapport with the quarterback and does what the quarterback asks him to do.
And Gabe Davis, like we have stated, at least the intel from Buffalo, is that he was a security blanket for Josh Allen. Josh Allen loved him, looked for him, made sure he got the football to him. And so I just don't want to dismiss when a guy can take a corner and a safety and really make the defense feel stressed. And that's what Calvin Ridley did, honestly. And I do agree with the notion that, hey, there were a lot of drops, but there also were some inaccuracies on the guy throwing the football too. Let's not forget that. And so I think when we're all said and done, I think we're going to be happy, or I think maybe most of Duval will be happy with Gabe Davis as in addition to the wide receiver room. But I just don't look at it as a flat-out replacement for Calvin Ridley. I asked this question yesterday, Mia, and you can answer it too. Is the wide receiver room better or worse today than it was a week ago?
The same.
Okay, I'm going to say a tick less.
I'd say it's
okay.
No. It depends because, again, here's my thing.
It's not better. How about that?
I don't think it's better, but I think to your point, like everyone in Buffalo who's crying about, well, Gabe Davis had rock hands at times. Mm-hmm. At least Gabe Davis was running the right route. Sorry, I'm going to say it again.
Yeah, but still, it's one or the other. Okay, either
right.
if you don't make the catch with the defensive back's hands, then you have a problem there as well.
Let me say this then: when Christian Kirk was signed to that massive contract here 2 years ago, literally while we were here at the Players, and so many people questioned that, not because of rock hands or running the wrong route, but simply because he's only a 2.
Yeah, just the price tag.
What did he do with that opportunity?
Oh, he did tremendous things with it. So look, I can't help but
That's
hope.
what Trent Baalke's going to continue to bank on, is guys that are ascending, about to take that next step.
Yeah, I can't help but hope that this guy becomes a great story. Back home, Fernandina Beach ties, UCF ties, all that stuff, that he can do those things. I'm just saying.
He's not
right
coming
now,
in here to be a 3, bro.
Yeah,
No, it's going to be
he's
another
coming
2.
in to be a 1.
Or a 1, right. Or a 2
I
or
get
a
it.
1.
I'm telling you right now, he's thinking in his head, I'll be a 1.
Yeah, which is
They
and
need
that's
1.
that's a good
Yes.
thing. That's
Which
what
is-
you want.
I would love it, okay? And like I said, I have no problem saying if it happens, it happens, and that's just awesome. All I'm saying is that the same thing that you worry about with Eric Armstead, I can't help but say Gabe hasn't been a 1. I've seen other guys.
Gabe's a lot younger. Okay.
Let me
a
give you,
lot younger.
Let me give you another one. Laurent Robinson. Go back and find that history. Who came as a 3 from Dallas that was supposed to come here. Now, he had encountered an injury during training camp, one of the stupidest, freakiest things ever, but he never delivered. And so Christian Kirk did. That was great news. And so you just have to hope. It's never a guarantee.
Before we take our go ahead.
Yeah.
Was that JJ? I thought JJ was saying something.
Yeah.
Before we take our next break, I do want to play the sound from Calvin Ridley's introductory presser. So, JJ, if you could cue that up, please. Calvin Ridley meeting with Nashville media for the first time as a member of the Tennessee Titans. I think it's a bit revealing what this answer with regards to where he thought he might land in free agency is.
I know that I have a certain type of skills, and so I'm not, scared to go with the good or with, who's I'm trying to be good. So I think, playing them twice a year, I was watching them and looking at, the things they did have. I know that D-Hop's here, and I know that, I want to play with another receiver on the other side that, help me, do what I do best too. So I knew that they had that, and I knew they had a really good defense, and, they were upcoming and stuff. So I was looking into it, and, I really wanted to honestly be with the Jags. But, there was a lot of things that I wasn't working out for me. And then I think the Titans had that other side for me. So I chose the Titans. And obviously the money was pretty good.
That is classic.
The last
one. Right, the last line. Obviously the money was pretty good.
That is classic.
It's all right.
I appreciate the honesty and the transparency from Calvin.
I love it. Hey, Nashville. I really wanted to be in Duval, but whatever. Money's pretty good. That's classic. And I don't blame.
Mind you, he literally signed with one of the biggest rivals of the Jaguars. Mm-hmm. And one of the Titans' biggest rivals is where he's coming from. And he's like, yeah, I honestly wanted to be with them, but it didn't get done because I got more money here.
And so it may not register to a veteran that went from one ville to another ville. There's some good old football hate between these two towns. And so that is just absolutely classic. I love that. All right, let's head into the 1 o'clock hour. Leaderboard updates throughout the afternoon right here on the Superstation. It's a beautiful, big hair, heavy metal Friday.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. 1010XL takes you inside the program director's office with Dan and Jeff.
Comedy, sir.
Comedy?
The Drill.
This is not comedy.
Mornings
Comedy is fun. It's antics, hysterical type things.
on 1010XL.
Save big at Key Buick GMC with up to $12,500 off all new Buick Enclaves, up to $12,250 off all new Buick Envisions. Receive low APR rates like 1.9% for 60 months on select Buicks, or receive 4.9% for up to 48 or 60 months and 5.9% for up to 72 months. Come see the new 2024 Buick Envista in stock and ready to deliver. Key Buick GMC, across the street from Tinseltown, Southside and Gate.
Mia here, and if you're still in the hunt for a sports book to call home, bet the non-stop action of the madness with MyBookie. MyBookie is a one-stop shop for all your sports betting and casino needs, complete with a real-life Vegas experience right from the comfort of your phone. Take your viewing experience to the next level with real-time live betting that lets you stream and bet the games right from the MyBookie website. Sign up now and take advantage of a generous welcome bonus on your first deposit, all the way up to $1,000. Put in $200, get $300 ready to play instantly using promo code 1010XL. And the fun doesn't stop there. You'll get up-to-the-minute odds, props, and this week's expert predictions to help you decide who to put your money on. Put in $200, get $300 ready to play instantly using promo code 1010XL. The best part about MyBookie, you can bet on anything, anytime, from anywhere. Use promo code 1010XL to secure your welcome bonus today, only with MyBookie.
Let's fire up the flavor and ignite those appetites. Let's slow down and smell the barbecue. Because all your favorites are smoked for hours and ready for eating when you are. From our famous ribs to slow smoked pork. Enjoy some perfection by the plateful, safely in our dining room or in the comfort of your home. With curbside pickup, drive-through, and delivery. Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmasters since '68.
Add an ace to your Tuesday morning.
The third ace in 4 days.
Brunch with a tour.
Tour news, tips, and inside info.
Brought to you by Clearwater Irrigation and Art of Natural Stone.
8:30 Tuesday morning on 1010XL.
Discover the timeless beauty of stone with Art of Natural Stone, offering an extensive selection of products. They cater to every design aesthetic. And not just a supplier, they also provide the installation. Skilled craftsmen ensure a flawless finish every time with Art of Natural Stone. You receive not just a product, but an inviting welcome home experience. So embrace the elegance of your own yard this year with artofnaturalstone.com. Open to the public on Phillips Highway and on Beach Boulevard.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Don't you love an extra $100 in your pocket? Have a TurboTax expert file your taxes for you by March 31st to get $100 back instantly. Because no matter what moves you made last year, TurboTax makes them count. That means getting $100 back and 100% accurate taxes, only from Intuit TurboTax. Must file by 3/31. Credit only applicable to federal filing fees with TurboTax full service. Offer can be modified or terminated at any time.
PRP treatment is kind of the thing these days, and in many cases, it eliminates the need for surgery. This is Sheridan Tootin, and my experience with PRP from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has been nothing short of great. I'm really feeling much better now. Ask your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist doctor about PRP treatment.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
It's March basketball. That means a host of top teams will be competing for the NCAA title. When it comes to commercial painters, there's also some healthy competition out there. Jason Parker with Performance Painting. To help you know the right questions to ask any painter competing for your business this year, visit performancepaintingjacks.com. Or if you're ready for a friendly quote, give us a call and ask about our free pressure wash promotion for your next project. Performance Painting, quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting.
Hey Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
The Players Championship. Here's a 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Leaderboard update.
Good afternoon and live from the Players Championship. Hey, thanks for tuning in to 1010XL for this update. We're here all throughout the day and weekend. I'm high-flying Jack O'Brien, and this report is brought to you by JTM Comfort Services. Well, we got big crowds turning out for this Chamber of Commerce Day here in Ponte Vedra. No better way than to enjoy watching golf than watching it here at the Players. And Wyndham Clark is lighting it up. After 15 holes, he's now jumped out to a 5-stroke lead. He's at 13 under par. 5 ahead, of Matty Schmid. The German player out of Louisville, Kentucky, had 2 consecutive 68s. He's at 8 under par, as is Matt Fitzpatrick, J.T. Poston, and last year's winner, Scotty Scheffler, all still on the course. Corey Connors at -7 after 14. Connors is 3 under for the day. Xander Schauffele and Rory McIlroy, as you know, who led yesterday, tee off in just a few shakes in round 130 on hole number 1. They're at 7 under par. Keith Mitchell at 6 under par. He's about to wrap up his day. He is 3 under for the day. Harris English 3 under for the day at -6. And Brian Harmon, who shot 72 yesterday, 6 under for the day, 6 under par for the tournament, back in contention. We're live every 20 minutes with Players Championship updates from the Palm Valley Village here at the Players Championship. I'm Jack O'Brien, back in 20 minutes. Thanks for listening.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's a Big Hair Heavy Metal Friday on XL Primetime.
Oh, love the big hair, love the heavy metal. We are hanging out on a beautiful Friday, and crank it out, a little rock and roll, especially if you're on A1A or if you're in Nocatee Parkway, if you're wherever you are.
You're not doing that, I can tell you that. You're not doing 55.
Yeah, you're right. You are right. Sammy Hagar is like, you wish, but just crank a little rock. Somewhere for us, but we love hanging out with you all. Joe C., me, O'Brien, Matty Hayes. We got plenty of our nooners that have dropped by to say hello today, which is awesome. We got Coach Campo coming up in about a half hour's time. That leaderboard, Jacko just did the update, and we got to take a look at it. And again, the wind is starting to pick just a little bit, pick up, but not enough to kind of create havoc or make things that much more difficult for these players. They know how to get around this golf course if their game is on. But he mentioned Wyndham Clark, and this guy, if you went back to his win on a Saturday in Pebble Beach, California, where it was a weather-shortened event, went all the way to Monday, couldn't finish it, and they called it as a 54-hole. He went out and shot a 61 that day, was on a 59 watch, had 2 putts just sit on the doorstep at 17 and 18. Anyway, he was on fire. And so if he gets hot, look out. He's 600 today, and he's taking it right now to 13 under. I don't like that number. Matt, we mentioned 14 under before. I go anywhere from 14 to 18 under. I still think it's a great score on a great golf course. But don't give me 13 or 14 under 2 rounds into this bad boy, please.
Yeah, he's kind of pulling away, bro, if you think about it.
Well, the afternoon crew.
The afternoon crew certainly is coming up, but it's a big number out there.
Yeah.
It's a very big number out there, especially when it's going to get a little more difficult, too. Mm-hmm. The wind will pick up because the sea breeze hits the inland, and then, boom, right. You never know what happens at that point. So, yeah, I think he's at the very least, he's laid a large number out there.
Well,
yeah, and it's a 5-shot lead for Wyndham Clark, but here's what I like. One of those guys who's T2 right now is the defending champion and the best golfer in the world, and Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah.
Anytime I see him, I don't care how many strokes behind, but if he is within striking distance, if he is in the top 5 heading into Saturday or even heading into the final round on Sunday, you cannot count him out. It's that simple.
It's almost like we're talking about Tiger right now.
Yeah. But and that's the thing, and that's whenever we've had some of our golf correspondents who we so appreciate, Mark Carnival, Ian Carter, so many more that we've had on this week, it's so hard to wrap your head around how well Scotty Scheffler is playing, number one, how dominant he has been on the tour the last 2 years, 3 years really, number two, but he doesn't move the needle, I don't think, in the same fashion that Tiger does or even Rory or Jordan Spieth do. I'm just, for the casual fan, I don't think he is getting the appreciation, oh my God, I see him on the leaderboard. He's at least as long as what we say in the NFL, in the hunt, you want to be in the hunt. He's always in the hunt on a Saturday, and you know there's always a chance.
Well, the only guys I think that would have moved the meter anywhere near, and we're not even they still will never approach what Tiger does to a fan base on the golf course or on television. But Jordan Spieth had the potential to do that. I suppose Rory had the potential to do that, and Ricky had the potential. But there aren't too many others, honestly. You could take every guy on this leaderboard, including Scotty, and add them all up, and that's the Tiger factor. Honestly, it is. Scotty is unassuming. He is a big, good-looking kid, so that part is a positive. But he's not the hulking Koepka or anything like that. And I love it that he can go out there and put himself in position every single time to win. And I hope he does again on Sunday, be the first repeat champion the Players has ever had. But he only has a hole left right now, or actually maybe 2 holes left. He's working.
He's through 16,
yeah,
or through 15.
Yeah, now I got him at 16.
Scheffler or Wyndham?
Yeah, Scheffler.
Scheffler's through 16. Wyndham Clark is through 15.
Yeah, and so I'm talking about Scotty, and so he's 3 under finishing on the front side, which is at the very least one more birdie chance because he'll have the par 5 ninth to finish up on. Fitzpatrick's finishing at the par 5 ninth. He's got a chance maybe to draw one closer. Now, Schmidt is done, and Clark has 3 left, and he also is finishing on the front side. Now, he has 7, 8, and 9. 7 and 8 can be tough. They very, very tough golf holes, par 4 and a par 3. But he also will have a chance to maybe make a birdie at the 9th. So we'll see where it goes. But I just want to look forward to seeing a battle in the end on late Sunday afternoon, where we know that it's not just one guy's tournament, that there are guys, all of them having to play bold to try and win it.
Heading into Friday, it was a 3-way tie atop the leaderboard, was it not, Joe C., between the aforementioned Wyndham Clark as well as Xander Schauffele and Rory McIlroy. Xander will tee off at 129, Rory McIlroy at 140, and so that afternoon group has yet to hit the course, or at least the vast majority of them. The temperatures are ticking up a notch. I'm not so sure that will play as much of a factor as much as the wind.
It's just going to firm up the course.
Right.
It'll make it hotter, which means it's going to bake out those greens. But, yeah, that wind, now look at it right now. At least there's a little bit of it.
It's not much under the tent here at the 1010XL.
Right, but look at the trees. Look
I
at the
know,
palm trees up top. That's where the ball's flying, too.
I know. And Coach Campo is motioning. He's saying it's strong. Can we get some of that wind coming this way into the tent? Because I would appreciate a little breeze here. So send it our way.
But give me 10 to 15. Those flags flying, gusting from the right side coming into 17. And then we got something. Put the pin all the way over on the edge at 16 with that wind coming in and barking a little bit. Then we got something. So that's what I'm hoping for. But I definitely got a feeling we're going to see 14 under at the halfway point here, maybe even more than that, because we'll see what the 7 under dudes do later, Xander and Rory. It's a championship golf course, but without a lot of wind and a softer golf course in March than they expected. That's the part that's going to give these players an advantage.
I know Matt wants to make sure we address, and a round of applause, please, JJ. The Florida Gators come from behind victory last night on the hardwood over Mike White's Georgia Bulldogs, especially before we get ready to say hello to Campo and talk all things Jaguars coming up in just a little bit. Yes, the University of Florida, if you didn't stay up for it, which I went to bed at halftime. I'm sorry, boys. So not that I didn't have faith in Todd Golden and the crew. Those tip-off times, 9:50 after we've been out on the course since 8-something. Just a little too rich for my blood, knowing we had to be back out here at 8-something.
Yep.
So, but it's a credit to a Florida team that wasn't shooting all that well in the first half, that was getting out-rebounded, surprisingly, especially on the offensive end of the floor, Matt, in the first half. But they found a way in the end, especially at the free throw line. I mean, 50 combined free throws between these two teams. It was a clunk fest, I think, at least.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Florida found a way, and that's something you couldn't always say over the past 10 years of Gator basketball.
Yeah, I think if you look at them, and I've been saying this now for a couple of weeks, I don't think they're going to, in the tournament, not the SEC tournament, the NCAA tournament, I don't think they're going to lose to a team that's not as talented as them, because I think they have enough talent and they play well enough on defense to where that's not going to happen. They have too many shooters for that to happen. Now, that said, if they play a team that's equal or better talent, they absolutely can lose. The problem I also think, too, is Samuel, you can't go 9 of 23 from the free throw line in the tournament. That's going to be a big problem. And he was shooting better free throws the last 2, 3, even 4 weeks of the season. It did not look good last night, I'll tell you that right now. And that's, you all know in the tournament you got to shoot from the perimeter, make your free throws. Simple as that.
Well, you take a look at the way the bracket shakes out, and, after last night, first night winners, it was Arkansas Georgia moving on. Georgia gets knocked out. Now Florida moves on, and you're taking a look at, this is where you're going to find out Tennessee got to sit back with the double bye. So did Auburn, Alabama, and Kentucky. Kentucky, who do they get? I'm trying to think.
Kentucky gets A&M.
A&M, who beat Ole Miss, Florida and Alabama, and now you're talking about the third time that these two teams have gone at it, and it's been some great hoop.
It has.
It has been some
They
great
match up well
hoop.
with Alabama. They really do. It's the thing that would be nervous if I was a Florida fan is I don't see the fire that I saw like late February, early March. That fire and that you got to have the idea that every possession is important, and it is in the tournament. Mm-hmm. Everything you do is important, and I don't see that right now, and I think that's certainly an issue. Now, again, it was one game.
It was also a tip-off at almost 9 p.m. Central Time.
Right, well, it's going to be the same thing tonight.
Yep.
So it may just be one game. They may be completely different tonight. All I'm saying is it's tournament time now. You got to start ratcheting it up.
Biggest thing for me is that Alabama can score with anyone, but if they get cold, they can't rely on their defense to create offense. As much as I think Mark Sears is a potential All-American. He obviously is an All-SEC point guard. I think he's one of the best 5-point guards in the country. I think that Alabama has veteran guys that have been here before. Nate Oates clearly has been here before. The fact that he was on the broadcast during halftime of the Gators game last night, that should light a fire under Florida. I mean, I understand they're not watching the broadcast, but the fact that your next opponent's head coach is able to sit back and try to scout you while he's on the air.
Get the board out.
That should, especially after you took that team to the woodshed when they came to your place, a week and a half ago?
Yeah. And that's really, honestly, you got to follow momentum with heart and effort. And it's the second game in 2 days, 2 nights, which is going to challenge both of them. Or actually, I should say it's going to challenge Florida. It's not going to challenge Alabama because they had the double bye. So they got to make sure that they do not let go of a lead, that they don't get out-rebounded.
They actually outplayed them the first game, too. They were up double digits. So they match up well with them. They do. It's a game they can win. They could get to the semifinals. There's no doubt about it.
All right, so we'll keep it going, but you guys jump in on that 6'4", 110-10. How far did the Gators go? Tennessee, obviously the top seed. Kentucky, are they getting hot at the right time, especially with the Shepherd? My gosh, that guy.
By the way, needs to be addressed, not so much in the SEC tournament, in which, of course, the 4 top seeds of that tournament will play for the first time this week here tonight. Some of these other tournaments, man, some of those high-seeded, whether it's the AAC, the fact that Dayton went down, or not the AAC, the A10, the fact that Dayton went down last night. In the Big East, Creighton gets taken down by Providence. Rick Pitino is leading a team in the Big East to the Big East semifinals for the first time since 2000, and so there is room for carnage on this conference tournament week. Heck, we didn't even talk about Coach Campo's guy. Close your ears, Coach. Don't hear this. That Bill Self all but punted on the Big 12 tournament because his top 2 players were hurt, got whooped by 20 by Cincinnati because he wants to prep for the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, and Dickerson, by the way, a separated shoulder or dislocated, that ain't easy to deal with. That is nothing but a pain threshold that he's got to be able to go back out and not expect that they're going to come at him, okay, because they are going to come at him. And so, I don't mind the idea of them. This is the only neg about conference championships. When you're comfortable with your seeding, you don't mind dropping a game, but they're not even comfortable. They're just trying to get healthy. That's all.
Right. They're literally just trying to get healthy because they've accepted that even if they fall from the 4 to the 5 line, they're getting into the dance one way or another. Yeah. And, the point has been made, especially after Duke got knocked off last night. I'm sure this is how they're going to cope with it up in the Raleigh-Durham area. Is how many times when you look at a coach's resume do you say X amount of conference tournaments won versus X amount of Final Fours, national titles? You're always going to list that on the resume before you talk about conference tournament.
Yep. All right, so we'll be looking at that. We'll say hello to Coach Campo coming up in just a bit. Missing Big Search today, so he has the day off, but Coach Campo stepping in as we talk a little bit more about the free agency and the gorgeous weather out here. The easy way to find us is behind 9 Green, and it's the Palm Valley Village. It's Old Island Club turf, where you can just picture that sitting out behind 9 Green. Not nearly as raucous as the Old Island Club days, but you can come on in, say hello to us, get you a cold one, and then head back out and watch some golf.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
If you're like me, it kind of feels like it took spring forever to get here. Well, guess what? It's finally here, and my friends at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned are celebrating big with some Spring Fever March specials. How does this sound? $500 down and only $288 per month gets you a pre-owned 2021 Toyota Corolla. Or you choose a pre-owned 2021 Camry, RAV4, or Tacoma for just $500 down and $388 per month. You know, spring is all about new beginnings, and that includes your credit. Get a fresh start with help from Arlington's friendly credit for everyone pre-approval helper. It's all about getting you approved. Now that's a breath of fresh air. And remember, you can buy pre-owned with total confidence thanks to Arlington's 30-day exchange program. That's 30 days to love your pre-owned purchase or exchange it. Don't wait. Spring into action and score these March specials now. $500 down, low payments, 30-day exchange, and friendly credit for everyone. Shop in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, and online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
Now, another classic moment in Jags history.
Gerard fires. Oh, he caught it! Oh, unbelievable! Mike Thomas, touchdown Jags!
1010 XL. Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010 XL, brought to you by Darley's Plumbing.
Florida Gator basketball survived Georgia in the SEC tournament opener 85-80. Number 6 seed Gators once again struggled up by the glass in the first half and missed a number of free throws. Thankfully, in the second half, things changed. Riley Kugel flipped the script with a perfect on 6 free throws over the final 15 seconds. Florida now faces Alabama in round 2 tonight at 9:30.
Hi folks, it's Frank Frangie. I'm so thankful to Darley's Plumbing and all the extensive plumbing work they did at the Bragan Baseball Complex, our new walk-off charities field. The Darley's team was responsive and professional at every step on this project, and the result is a facility I love. Darley's is a company I trusted for my plumbing needs, and you can too.
Thanks for those kind words, Frank. At Darley's Plumbing, we don't just do residential house calls. We're your first draft pick for commercial business plumbing too. Darley's Plumbing, where quality counts.
Are you tired of having a plain and boring backyard? Really want to impress your family and friends this year? Then stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway. Imagine hosting guests at your new outdoor kitchen, relaxing by your custom-built fireplace under a brand new pergola. Stone Core can also remodel your old pool deck and beautiful new pavers. Make your backyard wishes a reality. Visit Stone Core on Phillips Highway and let's get started at stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
Get ready for the Players' Championship, March 12th through 17th at TPC Sawgrass. Don't miss your chance to watch the PGA Tour's best compete to etch their name in history while enjoying a vibrant social scene. From local bites to the latest merchandise available in the PGA Tour fan shop, the Players offers the ultimate experience for everyone to enjoy. Secure your spot today. Tickets are on sale now at theplayers.com.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm dedicated to helping businesses manage risk, maximize opportunities, and move their company forward. Jimerson Burr attorneys are business-oriented lawyers, equally comfortable as community leaders, private transaction counselors, or courtroom advocates. If you have a legal issue of any kind affecting your business, contact the firm at 389-0050 or jimersonfirm.com.
The off-season rolls on with Tire Outlet and 1010XL.
Just so you know, we're putting together a football team. Love you to join.
Coverage of NFL free agency on 1010XL is brought to you by Roland Reish Plumbing and Superior Fence and Rail.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg, president of Underwoods. Clayton, I've seen pearls advertised from under $100 well into the thousands of dollars. Help me understand that.
David, let me explain. First of all, there's several types of cultured pearls, and at Underwoods we carry all of them. They're the Chinese freshwater pearls that are grown in mussels, not oysters, and these are the least expensive. There are also Akoya pearls, which are the traditional Japanese cultured pearls that are grown in an oyster. Generally, these are the next most expensive. Then there are the Tahitian gray, black pearls and white South Sea pearls that are grown in larger oysters off the coast of Australia and Tahiti. These are generally the larger pearls and are more expensive than the other pearls. Once we know the type pearl we have, we begin the quality grading part that's essential to pricing. These are things like the pearl size, how round they are, the pearl's body color, its luster, surface blemishes, and how the pearls are matched with each other. This is where we use our expertise to make sure that our customers get the better quality pearls they expect from Underwoods at a fair price.
If you've played sports or still lead an active life, chances are joint pain is nothing new. This is Dr. George Barry of Barry Orthopedics, and we like to be your option when it comes to taking care of your body and getting back in the game. From shoulders to elbows to hip and knee pain, Barry Orthopedics can diagnose and treat a variety of injuries that are causing you pain. We are Barry Orthopedics and online at barryorthopedics.com. With more than 30 years of experience, our team is here to care for your entire family.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
The Players Championship. Here's a 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Leaderboard update.
Good afternoon, Taylor Dahl here with your Players Championship update. This update brought to you by Beaver Automotive. Another beautiful day out on the course at TPC Sawgrass, 82 degrees, slight wind and sunshine. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. Wyndham Clark with a 5-stroke lead to sit atop the leaderboard at 13 under. He is 6 under through 16 holes today. Large group of guys all tied second at 8 under, including Matty Schmid. He is in the clubhouse, done for round 2, while reigning champion Scotty Scheffler also in this group at 8 under. Scheffler in some clear discomfort as in between holes he is getting his shoulder worked on. Just 1 hole left for him today. Looks like he will make it through day 2 of play. Matt Fitzpatrick and JT Poston also in this group behind Wyndham Clark, and another cluster of players all at 7 under. Corey Connors, Maverick McNeely, Harris English, and both of yesterday's leaders, Xander Schauffele and Rory McIlroy, both 7 under. They tee off coming up this hour. Schauffele at 129 and Rory at 140. I will keep you updated on those as they get going this afternoon. I'll be back in 20 minutes with another look at the leaderboard and the latest news as day 2 of play for the Players Championship continues here on 1010XL.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. XL Primetime's coach Dave Campo is brought to you by Bold City Heating and Air. Online at boldcityac.com.
Our head coach is here. Earlier in the week, it was great weather. He comes back with more great weather. So we'll talk golf first, and then we'll get into some football. Coach, what do you think, man? This is just Chamber of Commerce Day. Not an exaggeration.
This is absolutely perfect. I mean, it's a little bit warm, but at the same time, there's plenty of shade. You get out here, and the course is just immaculate. It looked like a carpet to me.
Mm-hmm. Right?
March is the time to run this tournament for sure, but you do take a chance on a little bit of rain every once in a while, and hopefully it will hold off. A little wind, a little rain, but that just makes – listen, these guys are the greatest golfers in the world. They need to be able to handle adversity, and that's what this course offers.
And that's coming from somebody who lived here in Sawgrass for some time. And so you would know, Coach. I mean, in terms of the temperature, like as much as some people loved it in May – when it's that ungodly temperature, certainly it creates an obstacle per se for the golfers, but then everything else around this course and around this tournament maybe gets a little bit haywire, does it not?
Absolutely. I think the heat keeps some people away. But at the same time, the heat in March is a plus.
Right.
So, I think it's the right time to do it. I think they're smart enough to understand that, and this is a great tournament.
Yeah, the heat now, which is – it's pleasant. I like it.
Absolutely.
I want to sweat. Now, the heat in July, when the training camp arrives, which is what, we got to get into it right now, brother.
Yeah.
When the training camp arrives, there's going to be some heat on a bunch of guys with the Jags, including a guy. I just want to get your initial thoughts on Eric Armstead.
I think it's great. I will say this, the guy, they're gambling on some injury with the guys that they brought in free agency. But I think it's a good gamble. He averaged 5 sacks a year, had a 10-year sack season, but he averaged 5 sacks a year, and that big sucker inside with his hands up, that's what puts the pressure. He does
what you love. He knocks passes down.
Oh,
you
yeah,
love
absolutely.
That's your thing, man.
That's what we're talking about with Trevor. If we could keep guys from getting in his face, he can hurt anybody.
Like think about this, okay? The distance between Coach Campo and I, if we're on YouTube and you're watching, is a couple of yards, okay? A interior defensive lineman that's good can collapse that pocket, get this quarterback on the move, whereas the Jaguars pass rush, that quarterback could be 2 yards away from you, Coach, and he was never threatened.
Absolutely, and I never really saw them get their hands up, even when they know that's the key. The biggest thing for me, first of all, he's 6'7", so that's a plus, right?
Right.
But at the same time, the guy's got to be smart enough to understand that I'm not going to get there, so I've got to do something to affect the quarterback, and that does. There's no question about it.
Do you like the Calais Campbell comp? I mean, both in terms of what he could bring to jumpstart a defense, a young defense, but also in terms of play?
Well, experience-wise, first of all, I mean, the guy's been in some big-time games, plus the fact that I think that he's, been in the league long enough to be a guy that is aggressive enough. He's still got it. I mean, I watched him this year with San Francisco, and he's got ability left. So, to me, every guy that they brought in brings something to the table. Mm-hmm. Now, whether or not a guy gets hurt, is out for 3 or 4 games because he's too old, I don't know about that. But I do know that they improved this football team with the guys they brought in as far as if they're ready to go, they're going to be a factor.
But that's free agency, right?
Yeah,
like if
absolutely.
You're chasing mistakes in the draft with free agency.
Right.
And more times than not, it's guys that other teams don't want or can't afford anymore.
Yeah.
And if they really want them, they'd find a way to afford them. So there's a reason why these guys are out there, right?
Right, exactly. And I think part of it is the guys that are smart enough, like the Belichicks of the world, always let the guys go at the right time.
Right.
And the guys that hold on to them, like the Jerry Jones kind of a guy. Please don't be listening, Jerry. We're still close. That keeps the guys too long out of loyalty.
Right.
But when you look at a guy, you can tell when he's at the end.
You can,
Very
right?
seldom
As a coach, you can.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Very seldom do you find one that you bring in, pay them a lot of money, and then they hit the wall.
Right.
Now, will they hit the wall 2 years from now? That's why you give a guy a 1 year or a 2 year deal. That's how you protect yourself there. Now, the injury factor, you can't, that could be any of them. That
Right.
could be a kid that they take in the draft. That's just the way it is.
Freak injuries especially, they happen.
Right, exactly.
Because I saw on our YouTube chat line, there's some of our nooners debating about how Eric Armstead isn't chasing money. He wanted the money that was owed to him, and the 49ers essentially said no. The Jags signed him for the same amount that he was earning in San Francisco. And I think that's a very good point by Chris on the YouTube chat line, and it kind of ties into, again, the report that I heard and several others have heard as well about the Jaguars' interest in getting Brandon Ayuk or adding another wide receiver. If you're the 49ers, the reason you say goodbye to Eric Armstead is you're looking down the pipeline of having to pay Brock Purdy, Brandon Ayuk, another contract for George Kittle, having to restructure Kyle Juszczyk's contract. And so that's why you would say goodbye to someone at 30 years old who still is very productive in your defense.
No question about it. And, the same thing, you look at it and you say, hey, we had no productivity at all from the inside guys. Harris at times looked like he was, a pretty good player, and hopefully he will continue to do that. But, and I'm banking on,
Devon coming back.
Devon Hamilton. I mean,
it's a tough situation. No one could have seen it coming. I've said it
Right.
time. That is the one that if you're going to knock someone on the Jags defense,
Yeah.
you cannot fault that man.
Right.
Not
exactly.
that was a freak accident that could have been life-threatening, and it probably was.
Listen, he was worth the contract that they paid him from what he did prior to it. So for me, it's, is he 100%? I'm banking on it.
Yeah, the only negative thing, and like I said, sometimes you have to take on that callous view of things, and you can't be emotional about it. You need players to make plays, and I was reduced to rooting on Angelo Blackson. I was screaming, Angelo! I was just going crazy for him because he was pretty good in replacement of Devon. But when it comes down to it, you have got to get players that are there, and it's such a repeatable line. Best ability is availability, and unfortunately for Devon, it wasn't that way. But now you might be starting to get numbers, and I truly believe, Coach, best player available with defensive tackles still very much in play when you look at 17.
I think what it does.
Coach is over here eating the nachos.
Listen, the
block.
nachos just got me. I apologize, but that's my listen. Food is my downfall. So,
but you're getting steps in this week at the course, so it's all good.
Absolutely. Hang with me, guys.
Right. Drink some water.
I'm going to fire.
You keep
Drink
your
some
thought.
water, Dave.
Yeah. But I'm, just like what we're saying is that you have to. As emotional as Devon Hamilton's injury was, you got to have players out there.
Of course you do.
That make plays.
You got to have guys that are available too. Look, I said this earlier. The reality is that the older you get in the league, the more susceptible you are to injury.
Right.
That's just the way of the league. Right. So that's kind of why I have a hesitation. It doesn't mean I don't think Eric Armstead could be a good player. He certainly could be a good player. But he's also making the money that he would have made at the Niners, which is a lot of money.
Right.
It's a lot of money. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. It doesn't mean I think, so they blew it. I just think y'all need to just temper it a little bit.
Yes.
Because you can't be the same people who are crazy about Calvin Ridley coming back, and then when he leaves, now you're in the jar now because he's gone. It's
right.
Gabe Davis, man, being a number one receiver that catches 75 balls and has 13 touchdowns.
There's no doubt in my mind that I said the same thing when they brought in Kirk and Zay Jones and those guys with that 2 years ago. These guys helped this football team. Everything else you got is a little bit of a gamble, just like you said.
Mm-hmm.
If you bring in a guy, the one thing it's not a gamble, though, is in comparison to a draft pick, is that you've seen this guy against good people.
Yes.
The 1.5% of guys that play professional football in the NFL, you've seen the guy against them, and if you look at him and you say, look, this guy's got a little bit left, then I'm all in. Everybody was on the money with Kirk, that they paid him too much. Well, they didn't pay him too much, other than the fact that he got hurt.
Right.
That's the issue.
Which that was in year 2 after a 1,000-yard season in year 1.
Absolutely. So I'm really pleased with the guys that they signed. I know Darby's a good player. I know Savage. Both of those guys are starters in the league.
No doubt.
So,
both have questions, though.
Absolutely. And it's the same thing with Morris.
Yes.
I mean, the guy's 31 years old or whatever he is.
We need to bring this up. We'll do it in a second. You add up the laundry list of injuries, it is a little trouble.
Yeah, you got to keep that in mind.
And we also need to get Coach's take on Calvin Ridley's decision to leave Jacksonville, head to Tennessee, and sign a mega deal with the Tennessee Titans. In case you missed it, Calvin Ridley, very forthright in his opening presser with the Titans, openly admitted he wanted to be in Jacksonville, but the money was right in Nashville. This is XL Primetime.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. Catch Gators basketball on 1010XL.
After beating the Bulldogs, the Gators get 18th ranked Alabama tonight at 9:30 on 1010 AM.
At Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville, we have over 40 2024 all-electric Cadillac Lyrics in stock.
Take advantage today of 2 awesome incentives.
First, a $7,500 rebate applied to the purchase price directly at signing.
That's a $7,500 rebate with no need to wait for tax time.
And second, a $1,500 credit for a high-speed in-home charger.
Over $9,000 in savings.
Now's the time to drive away in luxury in a brand new all-electric Cadillac Lyric.
Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville, plus tax tag title $899 admin fee and resistol.
Tell them Jennifer sent ya.
It's time, basketball bettors. It's March Mania. Hicken here to tell you about BetUS.com. I endorse one sportsbook and casino, BetUS. They've been driving to the basket for 30 years. This year, BetUS has an epic three-pointer, a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Yep, 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits, plus 10% gambler's insurance. Get started. Visit BetUS.com or give them a call, 1-800-MY-BETUS. BetUS, where the game begins.
Make your outdoor living perfect with Art of Natural Stone. Pavers, patios, gravel, pool decks, and more. Using all natural stone design, and they do the installation. Visit Art of Natural Stone on Route 1 near Bartram Springs or on Beach Boulevard.
Has someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI, domestic violence, and all criminal offenses. In your battle with the justice system, there's only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645. 354-5645.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On March 15, 2015, in the 56th SEC Men's Basketball Tournament, Kentucky beats Arkansas 78-63. Top-ranked Kentucky never trailed in the game.
You don't have to be a football star to get a signing bonus. The team at Republic Services needs your skills, and they're paying up to $5,000 for you to join the roster. You'll be joining a winner. As an essential business, the Republic Services trucks have not stopped rolling with hourly and weekly pay and better benefits and vacation packages than the rest of the league. Driver trainees, $1,000 sign-on bonus. CDL drivers, $3,000. Diesel mechanics, $5,000 bonus. Join the winning team at Republic Services today. Visit republicservices.com.
Equal opportunity employer.
certainly facing challenging economic times. I can't speak for all of us, but for me, comforting to know my money is in good hands with ITP Partners. Ticket here for ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. I'll admit it, I don't understand a ton about the economy, higher interest rates, 401ks, but I do know as I move closer to retirement, I continue to watch my money grow. Thanks to Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, and Reed Wingate. Get in the game, guys. ITP Partners, always there to help. For more info, Chris at ITPPartners.com or call 904-312-9751.
The Red Hot Jacksonville Icemen are back home this Friday and Sunday at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Friday at 7, the Icemen battle the Florida Everblades. Harry Potter fans, Friday is Wizards Night, and the team will wear special Wizard-themed jerseys auctioned off following the game. Then Sunday, the Icemen battle the Greenville Swamp Rabbits at 3 for Publix Family Fun Day. And you can come down on the ice and take a shot on net after the game. Tickets at Ticketmaster, JacksonvilleIcemen.com, or call 904-602-PUCK. Icemen hockey is #FireWithin.
Hey, Hicken here. You know I'm a hometown guy. There's nothing like home in Jacksonville, Florida. What a great place to live. Spring is here and everything is green and blooming. But that means I'll have to cut the lawn soon. It also means that we'll need to do some deep cleaning inside the house. That's where Zero Res comes in. Zero Res can clean your tile grout, your carpets, your area rug, furniture, and more. Right now, they're offering 25% off tile and grout cleaning. Zero Res, man, spelling forwards or backwards. The right way to clean.
Zero Res.
Hey sports fans, this is Hayes Carlyon for QC Kinetics. This is the time of year to enjoy life. Stop letting that pain in your joints keep you from doing what you love to do this spring. Call QC Kinetics now, set up a free consultation. Call them at 904-274-5522. They've got 2 great locations, Mandarin and Ponte Vedra Beach. Go see them. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. It's a fact, QC Kinetics is literally transforming lives. Their advanced treatments harness your own body's ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Pro athletes have been doing this for decades, but now this life-changing treatment is available for you. So you can walk and run and climb stairs and play golf and move again pain-free. 904-274-5522. That's QC Kinetics. Call them today.
The Players' Championship. Here's a 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Leaderboard Update.
Good afternoon, Taylor Dahl here with your Players' Championship update. This update brought to you by Coastal Equipment. Another beautiful day out on the course at TPC Sawgrass. 82 degrees, slight wind, and some sunshine. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. Wyndham Clark with a 4-stroke lead to sit atop the leaderboard at 13 under. He is 6 under through 17. Matt Fitzpatrick heads to the clubhouse just behind him at 9 under. Solid day with 6 birdies. And a large group of guys all T3 at 8 under, including Matty Schmid making his Players debut. Opens with consecutive 68s. He has 3 eagles through 36 holes. First time he has had more than 2 in a tour event, and no player has recorded more than 3 in Players history, while reigning champion Scotty Scheffler also in this group at 8 under. Scheffler in some clear discomfort during the day, as in between holes he was getting his shoulder worked on. He is heading to the clubhouse, finishing his round today. JT Poston and Corey Connors both at 8 under also, while Maverick McNeely and both of yesterday's leaders, Xander Schauffele and Rory McIlroy, all 7 under par. Schauffele just teeing off at 129 and Rory coming up at 140. I will keep you updated on those as they get going this afternoon. I'll be back in 20 minutes with another look at the leaderboard and the latest news as day 2 of play for the Players' Championship continues on 1010XL.
It's Kubota Orange Days, your golden chance to score a deal that will make your neighbors green with envy. Shop the year's best selection of Kubota tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles, including the #1 selling compact tractor in the USA. And get the year's best deals, like 0% APR for 84 months, or up to $3,300 off L3302 tractors. Coastal Equipment on New Kings Road and in McClenny.
Coastal Equipment.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's a big hair, heavy metal Friday on XL Primetime.
Well, we'd be remiss, Josie, if we didn't give a shout-out to our guest that just popped by. Even though she can't hear us, a round of applause for Tracy Veal, the queen of the credentials at the Players' Championship and on the PGA Tour, JJ. We're coming home with a gift for you, too, JJ. We got 50th anniversary Players' Championship hats for everybody at 1010XL, courtesy of our friends at TPC.
Yeah, that's pretty solid right there. That's a killer logo that you look back and you think, my gosh, it's been a long time. And for this thing to come to fruition, it moved around. It was a nomadic, where are we going to play our, quote, Players Championship in Houston, Champions Club there, and then makes its way here, starts out across the street, which Coach, is, well, Sawgrass Country Club. That is an entirely different animal of wind or species of wind. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely. Being closer to the water.
Oh, my gosh.
It was rough over there.
Yeah, that is a species of wind that you do not want, and they just said it was just too tough. Yeah. And then the vision and the classic story, which if you're a golf fan, you know it. You can watch at some point on Golf Channel during the week and relive it. But when Dean Beeman had the idea of creating a players club that would be owned by the players, and he goes to Pete Dye, and Pete Dye says, let's make it diabolical. Let's design this bad boy. And then Pete Dye's wife was the one who saw the vision of the island green. He kept looking at it because this was swampland, right. and he kept looking at it. And finally,
is this real or is this a Joe story?
Oh, no. So a classic story, David Lamb, who's been around forever, Uncle Dave, Dean Beeman takes him out here.
All right.
Brings him out. Says, come meet me here. He drives into this area in a Jeep or who knows what and says, this is going to be the stadium course. He said, would you like to buy a piece of property? And Lamb, the classic, what? This swampland? Are you kidding me? You're nuts. And that's the biggest regret he had. But anyway, they saw the vision and they started bringing it together. And then Ann looked at Pete and said, why don't you just make it an island? Take all this dirt away. So she was the one that is credited with the idea of doing the island green the way it was. So there's so many cool things. And then, heck, we had Carney the other day tell us the story of the goat. If you see the GOAT logo around here, which is becoming more and more popular, I saw Chris Reimer wearing one today. He was out with his wife having a good time.
I want to know where he got it from, because you can only get the goats inside the clubhouse during tournament week.
I'll just tell you this. His wife is part of a management company, so that's where that came from.
Of course.
But anyway, the GOAT, Carney tells a story about the 3 original goats that were out here that went from 3 to 11 really fast. That's what goats do. And then they finally got rid of them. But that is such a cool story. A lot of good history.
Some news and notes from around the National Football League that I see plenty of you guys on the YouTube chat line want to make sure we get to. Let me rattle them off, and then I have an important question for head coach Dave Campo as he sits in with us the rest of the way on this big hair, heavy metal Friday edition of XL Primetime. We begin with the news that just broke that Mike Vrabel is going to be a coaching and personnel consultant with the Cleveland Browns. Of course, he has a connection to Ohio State that many people are aware of, i.e., a tenure coaching under Urban Meyer, and also playing there too. The Jacksonville Jaguars, meanwhile, have officially announced the signing of Eric Armstead, the defensive lineman who has spent his entire career up to this point with the San Francisco 49ers, originally drafted by none other than Trent Baalke. And of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention, boys, number one, the Minnesota Vikings and the Houston Texans with a little trade action early this morning, as the Texans have traded out of the first round for a second this year, a second next year. The Vikings acquiring another first-round pick, perhaps ammo to move up for J.J. McCarthy. Mm-hmm. But also, the sack guru is no more in Duval.
Yeah, I know.
Kaylavon Chason has followed the island of Jaguar cast-offs to the Carolina Panthers, signing a one-year deal valued at $5 million.
Like there's somewhere behind. There's somewhere behind. Rocha just comes running up here. There's somewhere behind Windsor. No, excuse me. It might be Windsor Park. No. It's behind Queens Harbor Country Club. There is a big landfill, and there is a landfill of past Jaguars that are at Charlotte, North
Oh my God!
Carolina
There's some sort of like what's it in Stranger Things, Matt? There's I don't want to call it a port key from Harry Potter, but there's like some
the
sort
opposite
of
world or something.
the upside down the threshold it's located in Queens Harbor, and it connects to Carolina because that is where C.J. Henderson, Laviska Shenault, now Kayvon Chason. That's the first 3 picks of the 2020 draft, for those of you who aren't keeping score, have all landed since being drafted in Dave Caldwell's final draft
Well,
class.
I've got a few more that they want to take. You know, if they're willing to take
there's some guys out there
out,
we'd like to
we
send
got a few
over
more
there.
we can send over, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, Coach, I said it, so let me ask you. We won't tease it any longer. 17th overall pick. Joe already asked you, would you still take best player available even after the signing of Eric Armstead? Would you still be willing, if the best player available is a Byron Murphy, would you still take him? Now my question for you is, let's say there is a marquee wide receiver, maybe one who currently plays in San Francisco, available on the open market. Would you be willing to part with the 17th overall pick for Brandon Ayuk?
Yeah, I think Ayuk is probably worth it. He's shown what he can do. He's young enough that you don't have to worry about all of that stuff. I think he's taken every snap for San Francisco for the.
He's money.
Yeah, so I think really, to be honest with you, I would consider that if in fact they feel that the wide receiver position is the best available. They need a guy there. Go ahead and take him.
So that question that we asked yesterday, Matt, and I'm not necessarily saying we're on opposite sides of this,
right?
But he's expensive, and you have to give up draft capital to get him. So that's twofold. Would you? But he's a known quantity.
He also fits that. He fits the mold of he's a known quantity, and he's ascending.
Right.
Yeah,
and those are rare guys in the league.
Versus taking a chance on a 1-year spreadsheet on Brian Thomas or whomever else may be in that 17th spot.
Yeah, I'm not that. Where I would be more concerned would be if there's another position guy that's the best available player at that position, because the difference between Thomas, am I wrong? Ayuk is only 3-year guy, right?
Between him and.
No, I'm saying he's only been in 3 years.
This is his 5th year.
This
will be his 5th year in the league.
But he's still a young player.
Yes, he's 25 years old.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that I'd go with the known commodity. But if there's another position that's the most available there and you're willing to hang out for that, I'm fine with that too.
Well, you're not taking Byron Murphy at 17 right now, are you?
Hey, I like Byron Murphy.
I think
you do?
I like Byron Murphy.
Because Eric Armstead's a decade old,
Yeah.
And so you went and got him, you paid him. I consider that a short-term, a good solution, but a short-term solution. And then that's what we said. You got
Where's
to
Byron
draft
Murphy going
for
to
the
play?
future. Interiorly, right there.
No, you don't have to draft for the Oh,
yeah, you
my
do.
God.
Yeah,
Here
you
we go
do.
again, man.
Yes,
Here
you
we go again. It's like Taven Bryan all over again.
No.
Wait, Byron Murphy and Taven Bryan are not the same guy,
you need to
okay?
take that back.
My point is, you're drafting for now. You have a team that can win now.
I understand
You need
that.
to fill holes now.
I understand that. I'm just talking about Eric Armstead, one individual, how much, and a healthy Devon Hamilton. Yes, you can make some assumptions that the interior part of that defensive line is complete, but I'm not going to make an assumption that that's
they're 4 deep right now on the interior, are they not?
Yeah,
in a 4-3, and in a 4-3, it depends.
In a 4-3, yeah.
Well, in a 4-3, are you putting Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker on the edge? And so then within that interior, you got 3 guys.
Yeah.
Well, because you've got Hamilton, you got Armstead, you got Roy Robertson Harris,
and you got the guy they just signed.
Well,
the guy they just re-upped.
Oh, Ledbetter.
Your guy,
Ledbetter, and Gotsis too is still on the roster too.
That's kind of my point. Is
okay. Guess what? Guess what you just said though. That's a deep rotation. That's Jaguar good.
Okay, let's just put it this way. The first three, Joe, that's solid. That's a top half of the league first 3. Okay?
I want to make sure that Devon's healthy. I love Eric Armstead. I really do.
Right, if Devon's healthy.
Yeah.
Okay, if Devon's healthy and if Eric Armstead is playing how he played last year, that's a top 16 in the league.
Ledbetter, Jaguar good preseason.
What they have done with free agency allows you to take the best available
It does, and that's what we were talking about. Right.
If he's the best available player, you take him. I don't care whether he's a kicker or a punter or whoever it is. Take him.
You guys are taking your eye off the ball. The ball is protect your quarterback.
Yeah.
I feel like Burt Reynolds right now.
Yeah.
Protect your quarterback.
Yeah.
I think, Coach Campo, and we can discuss this coming up in the 2 o'clock hour, I think something we need to distinguish that I think is very important is now that we are approaching this best player available territory, we also know that it is a very deep offensive line class, Matt, a very deep wide receiver class, and a very deep corner class. Does edge rusher enter the conversation at 17.
If he's the best available, absolutely. I think they need somebody in the front.
That's why I
to
yelled.
me.
See, you don't count anymore because you're a coach and you have like these,
Hey.
you're like your whole thing is get the quarterback.
Yeah.
Right. You're a defensive coach.
Absolutely.
It's get the quarterback and cover.
No question about
Whereas
it.
the reality
and
is
it's not,
you're winning games with the quarterback.
And it's not a very deep D-line draft.
Right. So you either feel really good about that guy at 17 or you wait. All right, so let's keep it going because I did employ the mantra that Campo had earlier, best BPA, best player available. We'll keep it rolling. XL Primetime as we are having a great time here at the beautiful Palm Valley Village, just steps away from 9 Green. Come on by.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Tired of dealing with clogged drains? What about those bad smells coming from your pipes? No matter how big or small your commercial or residential project may be, my friends at Duck Duck Rooter can handle it. Contact them today for all your plumbing, septic, and air conditioning needs at 904-862-6769. And while I have your attention, Duck Duck Rooter is also hiring plumbers. They offer excellent weekly pay, health insurance, paid holidays, 401k, and more. Apply now at duckduckrooter.com and they will call you for an interview.
All right, Tony Baselli here. Right here on your home for Jaguars football. 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
What makes a Honda certified pre-owned vehicle so special? 182-point inspection, 24/7 roadside assistance, first-year free oil changes, and a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty for carefree driving backed by American Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
Get ready for the Players' Championship, March 12th through 17th at TPC Sawgrass. Don't miss your chance to watch the PGA Tour's best compete to etch their name in history while enjoying a vibrant social scene. From local bites to the latest merchandise available in the PGA Tour fan shop, the Players offers the ultimate experience for everyone to enjoy. Secure your spot today. Tickets are on sale now at theplayers.com.
Let's fire up the flavor and ignite those appetites. Let's slow down and smell the barbecue. Because all your favorites are smoked for hours and ready for eating when you are. From our famous ribs to slow smoked pork. Enjoy some perfection by the plateful, safely in our dining room or in the comfort of your home. With curbside pickup, drive-through, and delivery. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
David Garrard here. Playing in the NFL can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, especially your knees. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has kept me mobile and ready to tackle every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Lauren Brooks here from Mayport CNC Fisheries. Growing up at the beach, I know good shrimp and oysters when I see them. They're local and they're fresh. That's why Mayport CNC Fisheries is my go-to for both. They have local shrimp in stock 7 days a week. Eat like a local at Mayport CNC Fisheries.
When you think about a metal roof, think Prime Roofing. Prime Roofing is Jacksonville's local contractor that manufactures, fabricates, and installs metal roofs. Schedule today at primeroofingfl.com. That's primeroofingfl.com.
Visionaries, builders, and doers, are you ready to change the world? Miller Electric is your opportunity to shape the future. Miller Electric is leading the charge in electric vehicle technology with our state-of-the-art EV Innovation Design Center. We're working to create a sustainable future. We're also the proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, powering their performance at the brand new Miller Electric Center. Miller Electric, we provide competitive pay, unbeatable benefits. Apply today. MillerCareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Get Gators play-by-play on 1010XL. Brought to you by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Renewal by Anderson, the official window and door replacement partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mortgage rates have lowered going into this spring selling season. Have you had problems selling your home in the past? Are you looking for a promise, a solution? I'm here to give it for you. It's Chad and Sandy and ChadandSandy.com, the real estate experts I trust and recommend with the sale of your home, or mine for that matter. Maybe you want maximum equity, or perhaps you're worried about costly repairs or upgrades. Chad and Sandy deliver this simple promise. They guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. You have literally nothing to lose. Take Pete in Lakeshore. I was in a pickle. I heard Chad and Sandy on the radio and called because I needed to cash out on a rental property fast. I was struggling to rent it. I called Chad and Sandy, and I got an offer for full asking price within days. These guys made it easy and delivered big-time results. Call the agents I trust and recommend to sell your home. Chad and Sandy, they guarantee to sell your home or they will buy it. Find out more at chadandsandy.com or call 414-6200.
Mia here, and if you're still in the hunt for a sports book to call home, get the nonstop action of the madness with MyBookie. MyBookie is a one-stop shop for all your sports betting and casino needs, complete with a real-life Vegas experience right from the comfort of your phone. Take your viewing experience to the next level with real-time live betting that lets you stream and bet the games right from the MyBookie website. Sign up now and take advantage of a generous welcome bonus on your first deposit, all the way up to $1,000. Put in $200, get $300 ready to play instantly using promo code 1010XL. And the fun doesn't stop there. You'll get up-to-the-minute odds, props, and this week's expert predictions to help you decide who to put your money on. Put in $200, get $300 ready to play instantly using promo code 1010XL. The best part about MyBookie, you can bet on anything, anytime, from anywhere. Use promo code 1010XL to secure your welcome bonus today, only with MyBookie.
The Players' Championship. Here's a 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Leaderboard update.
Good afternoon. Round 2 underway of Players' Championship. Taylor Dahl here with your Players' Championship update. This update is brought to you by Kingfish Pest Control. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. Wyndham Clark with a 5-stroke lead to sit atop that leaderboard at 14 under after a birdie to finish his round on 18. He shot a 65 both rounds. Matt Fitzpatrick in the clubhouse just behind him at 9 under. Solid day with 6 birdies, and a large group of guys all at T3 at 8 under, including Matty Schmid making his Players debut, opening with consecutive 68s. He has 3 eagles through 36 holes. First time he has more than 2 on a tour event, and no player has recorded more than 3 in Players Championship history. While reigning champion Scotty Scheffler at 8 under. Scheffler was in some clear discomfort this morning. In between holes, he was getting his shoulder worked on. He is now in the clubhouse, finishing his round at 8 under. Corey Connors at 8 under also, while a big group of players sit at 7 under par. JT Poston, Maverick McNeely, and Jason Day. Yesterday's leaders, Xander Schauffele and Rory McIlroy, teed off just a bit ago. Schauffele, even after his first hole, staying at 7 under, and Rory McIlroy bogeys to start his day, dropping to 6 under behind that group. I will be back in 20 minutes with another look at the leaderboard and latest news as day 2 of play for the Players' Championship continues right here on 1010XL.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's a big hair, heavy metal Friday on XL Primetime.
All right, we're into the 2 o'clock hour, hanging out at beautiful Palm Valley Village. It is loading up here a Friday afternoon. You will not be shocked by that news at all, but give yourself plenty of time. Don't forget all the share rides, the buses, the shuttles, the Lyft, the Uber, whatever it might be. Use it and make sure you get home safely or get here safely for the rounds that are just going off. 2 o'clock till about 6:30, 7 o'clock tonight. You can see plenty of golf. JJ, if you don't mind, fire up a phone call to one Mark Carnival, because he's coming off of one round of golf that he did today. Hopefully we can get him on the line for a couple of minutes. Trying to remember if he said he was going back out.
He had Scheffler this morning for
so
certain, because he had him yesterday afternoon. He had Rory and Spieth yesterday morning.
Yeah, so this may be the only one. But anyway, go ahead and fire up a phone call to him and let me know when we have him, and we will bring him on the All Pro Roofing hotline and get an idea, because, as we all know, we watched it. these guys got after it this morning with a lot of low numbers, including Wyndham Clark with what he was able to do to move to the top of the leaderboard.
But we are getting some cloud cover, JoJo.
Yeah.
Little cloud cover. Wind's picking up a little bit.
Just let that wind come into the tent, please.
Yeah.
So I'm begging. We got about a 15 different degrees temperature inside the 1010XL tent and outside of it.
I'm digging it, though. We got a chance to have some decent competition here in the afternoon.
And that's all you're hoping for, is just to bring it back a little bit, because Clark is obviously got the best of it, and Swanee was talking about it yesterday with his PGA Tour live coverage, that if you take a look at the numbers of champions that have been able to go out late Thursday, early Friday, it has definitely been beneficial for them. So we'll see how it goes as far as how they finish up, but good stuff. Yeah. Good stuff so far.
Let's ring up another guest on the All-Pro Roofing phone line.
All right, our man Mark Carnevale joins us now. Are the feet up, Carney, as you join us?
Well, actually, I'm in my car, just leaving the course. So I guess the answer to the question would be yes.
Yeah.
But no, I had to try to avoid that traffic. Now, so yeah, I just got off the golf course 10, 12, 15 minutes ago after being out there with Scotty, and so glad to be done for the day.
All right, so let's just talk quickly about the win, because that's what we were just talking about as we were setting it up with you. Obviously, the draw is the draw, and if you can catch this course without as much wind, it's only going to help you.
It is, but it definitely picked up today. And I looked at the forecast, and the forecast was kind of the same, but as we got to our second hole, they started on the back nine. We got to 11. You could start to feel the breezes pick up, and it's a little different direction than it was yesterday. More out of the south, slightly southwest today. So it's a different factor. When it's out of the north, it's a much more challenging golf course. But being out of the south made it I think certainly play a little bit easier.
Mark Carnevale joining us on the All-Pro Roofing Hotline, a little bit further away than we are from the course. He's in his car, but he just wrapped up 18 holes with the defending champion, Scotty Scheffler. And Carney, reports early that there could have been some sort of injury to the defending champ. Did you see anything out there on the course?
It was, you could call it an injury, but it basically was just a creak in his neck. And, we saw it a little bit as he started, but then when he got to when he finished the par 3 13th, his physio met him there at the tee. They went behind the tee, got into a chair, and got some treatment. Got some again prior to.
There he is. Carney, we lost you there briefly. Right. So he got treatment prior to what?
Prior to 15 as well, and then continued to get treatment. I was out there with Billy Kratzert, and I don't know if this is true, but supposedly there's a time limit for treatment that you can get 15 minutes of it, and once you're done with that, that kind of is it. So I didn't notice much on the front nine. He did request to get some BioFreeze to be used. Use it just kind of I don't know if it's a little numbing, but it's a treatment gel that they use on players. I'm trying to get back into the gate at the clubhouse here.
Oh, okay. All right, we thought we lost you. All right, I think that's kind of like the magic freeze they use in the Premier League soccer.
Yeah.
The guy runs out there with the little can, and next thing you know, everything's good.
And it seemed to be more like he was having trouble with the shorter irons, which makes sense because you can't hit a golf shot really without moving your neck. He was like when he look up to try to see something, he would basically turn his entire upper body. And it was the short irons that we're struggling with, and you use a lot more rotation with the short irons than you do with the longer clubs. But he battled through it, and I think maybe in another situation he might have said, I just don't want to cause another injury because then your other muscles start taking over. But he battled through it. He knew the understanding of how important this event is, and you got to admire him. He battled through it, and actually, hit some really good shots. But you could definitely see throughout the round that it was a factor.
All right, Mark, you know this area. The sea breeze rolls in, clouds begin to form, wind picks up. Do you see anybody now in this second group that can, I don't even know if push Wyndham Clark's the right word, but that can get close?
Well, surely. I mean, a lot of those guys can, and certainly Schauffele and McElroy can. I was out there with McElroy yesterday, and despite a couple of poor tee shots, still put together a 7 under par round. Again, because of the breeze is kind of out of the south, it makes a number of those holes that are a lot more challenging when the wind's out of the north. Like 18 is a little bit easier. 16 is easier. Your crosswinds, you're a crosswind at 15. 14 is into the breeze. 2 is into the breeze, but 2 is a shorter par 4, so par 5, I should say. So yeah, absolutely. But as we've seen over the years, and yeah, it was Scotty won by a good margin a year ago. It's hard to run away here because eventually this golf course will catch up with you. You're going to make a mistake. You got to try to avoid it. You don't want to compound it. But that's what Pete Dye golf courses do. You make a mistake. You try to pull off I wouldn't call it a miraculous shot, but an aggressive shot, and then you pay a price again. So I think they can get close. He may have a large lead going into the weekend. But, just a year ago we saw Tom Hoagie shoot a course record 62. So it is by no means, at this point, Wyndham Clark's tournament to win or lose. I mean, obviously if he stays ahead, you could say that, but there's too much golf left.
Carney, let's talk Rory specifically. You sat here at the tent with us, and you said you felt like Rory was on the come-up, and he would be making his return. And to be quite frank, I told you then, and I'll say it again now, I just couldn't get past all the struggles he had over the last year. To then see him yesterday just erupt on that front nine, were you surprised? And what did you see different about Rory at the Players yesterday than you have over the last several months on the PGA Tour?
I would say not that he needs to have more confidence, but he seemed to exude some confidence, seemed comfortable. When he would see him, he would be uncomfortable on some putts. And he just looked like he was, in focus. Everything looked good. So I think it's if you sit there and you emphasize it and sort of observe it, it would be hard for some people to kind of pick it out because he's such a confident player and he does so many things so well. He just looked very comfortable to me yesterday, and the only 2 times that he wasn't was on 18 and 7 when it just did not finish his golf swing, and it resulted in him losing some shots.
Well, he made bogey at the opening hole of his second round, so he slips to 1 over through 1, and we'll see how he holds up. We all know it's a come-and-go world at times, Mark Carnevale, when it comes to your game, and he can easily course correct. We know that as well.
Oh, without question. Again, there's too much golf left, and yes, it's an advantage for Wyndham Clark to be where he's at. Absolutely. But sometimes that large lead can play on the mind a little bit. So again, I think there's certainly players in this field that can get close. They may not tie him going into the weekend, but he's going to need to go out there and continue to play well.
Carney, we talked about real quick, Joe. Sorry, we talked about Jason Day practicing last week. He's 2 under through today's round, 7 under total. He's a guy that could make a run, could he not?
Absolutely, experience here is very important, and again, there's only been 5 multiple winners here. So, and I think that's also why the challenge of this golfer is also why you see different types of players win. But Jason Day over the last couple of years has improved. He won again last year, which builds the confidence. But another player that at times who looked uncomfortable is really looking comfortable on the golf course. And that's, again, the experience around here is going to help. It doesn't hurt you. Although JT didn't perform too well today. But having won here before, I think you understand a lot about this golf course and really this tournament itself.
All right, so J Day's T7, real quick, Carney, outside of the top 10, guys that you think might be able to make a charge, and I'll throw at you Hideki, I'll throw Jason Day, Keith Mitchell, Colin Morikawa, and Cameron Young at you. Who do you think can charge?
Well, they're all capable, Joe. I mean, you follow golf long enough, and a lot of your listeners do. At any moment, things can click for any of these guys, and they can get on a run. And they're all playing here at this level, and they're all, located inside that top 50 in the world rankings for a reason, because they're darn good. And they can get hot just like Wyndham Clark can at any point. To pick one out, I don't know. That to me it would be a toss-up, but I would say they're all capable of making a run.
You just don't want to help me with my Saturday spreadsheet. I understand. There's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. Yeah. Listen, go get you a cold glass. You worked hard today.
You earned it, yeah.
And we appreciate it, my man.
You got it, guys. Take care. Have a great weekend.
We'll probably talk
Thanks,
to you on
Carney.
Monday. All right, Mark Carnival, PGA Tour live work today along with SiriusXM PGA Tour Radio, as he often does. He's all over it, that's for sure. And, yeah, they all can. It's just trying to figure out which one of those cats is going to. But Hideki was able to overcome a couple good or important stretches, and then we'll just see what Jason Day's T7 as he gets it rolling. That's good.
He's 2 under through 3.
Yeah.
We've got you
Not bad,
covered
man.
on everything players related, everything Jaguars free agency related, as well as conference tournament action in men's basketball. Don't look now, boys. As much as everyone says those top 3 seeds, everyone knows the 3-1 seeds, Purdue, Houston, UConn, they have separated themselves from the pack in men's basketball. Braden Smith, star point guard for Purdue, apparently left the Big Ten tournament, went into the locker room, has not returned with an injury. Michigan State just made it a 1-point game with 20 seconds remaining in Purdue's first game of the Big Ten tournament. And meanwhile, up in Nash Vegas, Tennessee is down 16 early in the second half to Mississippi State.
Rock bottom, Rick Barnes. Get used to it. It's XL Primetime.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL.
Hey there, it's Mia O'Brien. It's Players Week here in Jacksonville. Do you really want to be spending your precious free time washing dirty windows and unclogging gutters? Heck no. Get outside and enjoy the outdoors. Call my friends at Window Gang, America's #1 cleaning company, and go do something fun this week out in PVB. With over 35 years of experience, Window Gang knows clean like no other. These are professionals who truly know what they're doing, bringing their expertise to your home or business. What sets Window Gang apart, you ask? It's not just about the cleaning. It's the courteous and friendly service. Not to mention they offer a full range of services. Window and blind cleaning to gutters, pressure washing, roof and house washing, and even dryer vent cleaning. Check out their stellar Google reviews online and call their super friendly staff at 262-7300 to schedule your free estimate. Yes, I said free. That's 262-7300, and they'll be out there ASAP. Window Gang, where service goes beyond your expectations.
The Franchi Show.
What do you guys have that none of the other teams have?
Frank Franchi, Hayes Carline, and Lauren Brooks.
This is my show.
Not right now it is. Weekday afternoons.
Oh, the 3 of you are like my fantasy football team.
On 1010XL.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Did you hear what's happening? Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet are spring cleaning. New inventory on the ground means we need to make more room. Take advantage of huge savings on thousands of vehicles priced to sell. New and pre-owned prices have been reduced, and all sales associates have been instructed to give maximum value on all trades. But you better hurry. The best deals go first. Head to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville to take advantage of our spring cleaning sale. We're here to wow you.
Bolt City Heating and Air is truly a family-owned and operated local company and treats all customers like family. Don't be fooled by the out-of-towner equity firms and national corporations that use local names. There's one name you can trust when it comes to your home's heating and cooling system. Bolt City Heating and Air. Jacksonville grown and entirely loyal to this community. Schedule your winter maintenance by visiting BoltCityAC.com.
Madness is almost here. Well, String Sports Brewery in historic Springfield is the place to go for all the tournament action. The atmosphere is unrivaled. Our show will be there live from 3 to 6 on Friday, March 22nd. So come watch hoops and shoot hoops with us. That's Friday, March 22nd from 3 to 6. Soak in all the madness at String Sports Brewery. Family, beer, sports, and madness at Strings. Come out and see us in Springfield at String Sports Brewery.
The Red Hot Jacksonville Icemen are back home this Friday and Sunday at ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Friday at 7, the Icemen battle the Florida Everblades. Harry Potter fans, Friday is Wizards Night, and the team will wear special Wizard-themed jerseys auctioned off following the game. Then Sunday, the Icemen battle the Greenville Swamp Rabbits at 3 for Publix Family Fun Day. And you can come down on the ice and take a shot on net after the game. Tickets at Ticketmaster, JacksonvilleIcemen.com, or call 904-602-PUCK. Icemen hockey is #FireWithin.
Start your Sunday off with a cup of Joe and some sports medicine intel. This is Joe C. inviting you to join me and Dr. George Bari for Breaking Bones every Sunday morning at 7:30. And if you miss an episode, just look for Breaking Bones wherever you listen to podcasts.
Superior Fence and Rail knows about exceptional customer service. From the first call to the final inspection, Superior's team provides first-class care with great communication, friendly installers, and quality fence products. There's a reason why Superior is the top-rated fence company in Jacksonville. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail for your new fence today.
When you're on the fence about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Life has its share of challenges, and when it puts you to the test, make sure you reach out to Rebound Rehabilitation to give you the quickest path back to full health and confidence. Rebound Rehab, specializing in helping patients overcome back pain and sciatica, arthritis, and fibromyalgia, just to name a few. Rebound Rehab, locations covering the entire First Coast, getting you back in control with a pain-free life. Sports injury, workplace injury, whatever it might be, you can rebound. Log on to reboundrehab.com for more info.
Stop paying for exterior paint that does not protect your home or business. Pick it here from my friends at Rhino Shield. Their beautifully durable coatings never chip, crack, or peel, and they back that up with a 25-year warranty. None of that water intrusion damage from these crazy storms we get in Northeast Florida, all while saving you thousands compared to the cost of repainting. And gang, check this out. Right now, 0% financing and up to 20% off new jobs purchased now until Sunday. Go to RhinoShieldJax.com. Get your free estimate, RhinoShieldJax.com.
The Players' Championship. Here's a 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Leaderboard update.
Good afternoon. Round 2 underway of Players' Championship. Taylor Dahl here with your Players' Championship update. This update brought to you by Taco Lou and Kanea Water Jacksonville. Yesterday's leaders teed off just a bit ago. Rory McIlroy bogeyed to start his round 2, moving him to 6 under, while Xander Schauffele, 1 under through 2, moved up to 8 under for the day so far. He sits just ahead of a large group, including JT Poston and Brian Harmon, both in the clubhouse. Jason Day at 7 under in round 2 so far. Just ahead of them on the leaderboard at 8 under par, Matty Schmid, making his player's debut, opens with consecutive 68s. He has 3 eagles through 36 holes. First time he has more than 2 in a tour event, and no player has recorded more than 3 in players' history. Scotty Scheffler also in the clubhouse at 8 under, and Corey Connors, another solid day of play at 8 under also. Looking like a big lead as of now for Wyndham Clark, Matt Fitzpatrick, and Maverick McNeely T2 at 9 under, but several players clustered together at the top of the leaderboard just behind them. A few names to keep an eye out. Teeing off just a bit ago, Ludwig Aberg at 5 under, and Nick Taylor, who is 6 under, just starting his round 2. Tune in 20 minutes for another Players' Championship update right here on 1010XL.
Don here from Taco Lou. Now that football season has come and gone, and it's getting a little warmer outside, it must be time for more golf. At least for us anyway. If you love golf and you love tacos, we've got your spot out at 12. Tacos on 12, of course. It's time for the Players, and we couldn't be more excited. We'll be slinging tacos behind 12 Green all week long. You golf fans, make your way, our way, for a great bite and maybe even a margarita or 2. We'll be live at the Players.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
You know, I feel like the opportunity here was good. And again, being able to be around my family, football's not long. And to have them be able to come enjoy these moments with me, because one day it'll be over. So to be able to come home, to be on a great team, and to be with the guy that I trust is going to make me better was big.
It's a big hair, heavy metal Friday on XL Primetime.
Gabe Davis, one of your newest Jaguars yesterday when they met the media for the very first time here in Duval. Of note, Eric Armstead officially announced as a member of the Jacksonville Jaguars. However, we will have to wait until next week to hear from him. We will keep you posted here on the Superstation what day that is. We are live from TPC Sawgrass, the second round of the Players' Championship on XL Primetime. Mia O'Brien, Joe C., Matt Hayes, Coach Campo with us the rest of the way. And, Coach, I was encouraged from what I heard from Gabe Davis yesterday. I think there's still a question of how exactly he will fit into that wide receiver room. Are he and Zay almost redundant in terms of what they are able to do? But in terms of personality, in terms of vibes, in terms of commitment to a team, he noted he was a captain at age 23 in Buffalo. Just the presence that he carries, he screams a friend and an ally to Christian Kirk and Zay Jones.
Yeah, I think that was a great pickup. He's a guy that can take the top off the coverage, but at the same time, I think he can be one of those guys that's utilized a little bit more. I think one of the things that I think gives us an advantage right now is the ability for them to spread the ball. I think he and Zay are a little bit different. I think Zay is a guy that can really go up and get the ball. Gabe is not really noted as even though he's a big guy, a big red zone guy. Mm-hmm. He's a take the top off. His catches is something like 16 and a half yards per reception.
Oh, yeah, it was like 18, wasn't it, Matty?
Yeah.
His career is like 16-7.
Yeah. So I think he brings that to the table. But the thing that I was encouraged with, the same thing Mia just said, listen to him talk. It is something for somebody to want to be somewhere. I think that coupled with the fact that his receiver coach, those guys loved that guy up there. They bought him a car, a truck, or whatever they did. That's a serious thing. During my career, I got a couple of Texas boots. That was about maybe $700. I didn't get any $25,000 car. So they really liked the guy, and I think he had something that he wanted to bring that guy in here.
Right.
And I think he's got the right mentality for sure.
So I think of all the signings, he's the cleanest.
Yeah.
He's the one with the least amount of questions. That's number one. And number two, I said this yesterday. I don't want to get your thoughts on this now, okay? His first year in the league, he had 35 catches, 27 went for first down. Second year, 35 catches, 29 went for first down. Third year, 48 catches, 35 went for first down. Last year, 45 catches, 34 went for first down. They love to see that, right?
Absolutely. That's something.
That's a guy that catches the ball when you need him to catch the ball.
When it's a big-time play. That's the guy you want. And I think he's very consistent with what he does. I really think that, as good as Ridley did this year, number one, first of all, I don't worry about the guys that go somewhere else because you only go to see them once or twice a year. I worry about the guys we've got. And with a guy like Gabe, he's a guy that has shown that he's a consistent, when the ball is thrown to him, he's going to make a play. And I think that's where Ridley was a little bit inconsistent in that area. Plus, he's got the same amount of speed. If not, he might be faster than Ridley. So I think it's a big pickup. I'm excited about it.
The other thing I was going to ask off of that soundbite, and Mia, you were down there, he said and he was referring to someone as far as here. Was it Trevor? Was it Doug? Was it Chad Hall, his position coach? Do you remember? But basically
he referenced a lot of people.
So basically that soundbite we played was, and I'm looking for him to take me there. I was wondering if you picked up on which one.
I wasn't listening in context, but he hinted at all those guys. I mean, what I came away from Gabe Davis's availability with is he made the most sense in terms of connections to this roster and this coaching staff of anybody because yeah, sure, maybe not Doug specifically, but he obviously knows what Doug can do with an offense. Clearly, same for Trevor. But he runs in the same friend circle as Josh Allen, of course, his former quarterback with Buffalo Bills, as well as Kyle Allen, the backup quarterback in Buffalo, who also happened to be Christian Kirk's quarterback when he was at Texas A&M. So he hangs out with Christian Kirk a lot, so he's met Trevor. He mentioned that he had hung out with Zay Jones at the last 2 Super Bowls as well. And then, of course, the connection to Chad Hall, and not to mention Mitch Morse, someone who he regards as one of his best friends and a mentor to him. And he said that once Mitch Morse opted to sign with the Jaguars, Gabe already had an inkling of, if Jacksonville was to approach me, I want to play there. And once Mitch signed there, he said it was like fate, it was destiny. There was no question of where he was going.
Well, it's also, Dave, he's ascending. He's one of those young guys that's ascending.
Absolutely. And the thing that really excited me in listening to his talk was when he said he was just sitting there relaxing, and then all of a sudden the phone started ringing, and as soon as Jacksonville called, he said, that's it. I want to be there.
As soon as you saw the 904,
I think that's very, very important.
Hey,
for
thank
sure.
God it wasn't that new 324 or whatever number it was. Then that would have been a lot of trouble.
No kidding.
Yeah, but and I'll probably bring this up again later. But just on the faces, we're talking about this right now. 2 starters out of Buffalo, a starter out of Baltimore. If you want to consider Darby that when healthy, a starter out of Kansas City. Yeah, those are
winners.
Yeah, that's significant.
Absolutely, winners.
Yeah.
You want to get as many guys that have been, places where they've got good organizations and they've had a really solid chance to win.
And they've been to the playoffs before.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
absolutely.
think about that. Packers, Ravens, Bills, Bills,
pretty good
49ers.
Yep.
Right on cue, let's read this Pete Prisco tweet in the initial aftermath after the Eric Armstead news broke yesterday. Armstead is the kind of pro the Jaguars need in their building, Pete writes. That team got sideways last year when they seemed content at 8-3 and didn't push the way the staff wanted.
Yeah.
That's telling, and I want to hear more. I don't know how much more they're going to reveal, but Pete has he has good contacts. Whenever
he's got a pulse. He's got a pulse on what's going on, for sure.
Right. And so, again, at 8-3, and I can echo this only because I heard it from Doug Peterson every Monday and every Wednesday during that last 6 games. He kept saying, we can't be satisfied. It feels like we're forgetting about the fundamentals. We cannot be satisfied. We need to keep pushing. And then you'd go in the locker room, and guys were like, I don't know why we're, focusing on tackling. And it's like, well, yes, because he doesn't want you to stop and think you've arrived.
How critical is that last month?
Oh, listen, if they don't learn from that, they're not going to learn from anything. I mean, you drop 5 out of 6, whatever. I think that's what it was.
Right?
Yeah. When that happens, they've got to know that something has to change. And football is still blocking and tackling. That's the bottom line. We talk about it all the time. Rush the passer, protect the passer, and tackle.
Yeah.
That's the game of football right there.
Yeah, affect the quarterback, protect the quarterback is, guess what? Line of scrimmage.
Yep.
The game is won on the line of scrimmage.
But then you also heard the chatter. Leon always talks about how when you change the calendar to December, and then you obviously said it. And then when you hear chatter coming out of that building that said, hey, we'll get to this tomorrow, that is no bueno, man. That is so bad when they had so much to play for. And as Matt pointed out, 5 of the 6 L's, they were all Trevor starts.
Yeah. The only game they won was when he was out.
He didn't play.
Yeah.
Well, but let me just say this. All I can tell you is there was something going on in the locker room. We've said this before that caused what happened. And as much as I like all the guys that we're bringing in, it's Doug Peterson's job to get that fixed.
Yes.
Whatever the problem was.
it is.
Everybody talks culture.
And it's
all
on
this
him
stuff.
to onboard those guys. I used that word already, man.
Yeah,
So.
and the more guys you get in there that want to be there, I think that helps you be able to do that.
Guys that want to get over that hump.
Exactly.
Real quick, before we power to our final segment of the day and send you guys to the Frangie Show and off into the weekend, JJ, let's hit a that from the basketball world real briefly.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Despite all the indications that they wouldn't, the University of Michigan has parted ways with head basketball coach and former, I don't even know how to describe him, but member of the Fab Five, one of their all-time greats, Juwan Howard. Of course, plenty of off-the-field drama this season. Not a great result on it for the Wolverines. I love this tweet from Stuart Mandel of The Athletic. 3 years ago, Juwan Howard was the toast of Michigan coming off an Elite 8 run. Jim Harbaugh was on such thin ice he'd taken a 50% pay cut. Sure enough, one wildly succeeded, and the other one got fired.
The thing is you can put up with all that drama,
I really thought he would be better
if they
after
win,
that quick start.
When they win, you put up with the drama.
Yeah.
When they lose, drama gets you fired.
I'm shocked that he did not do better after that quick start.
I honestly just thought that the football team winning a national title would kind of mask all of the basketball team's problems this season.
But you got to be able to recruit. They weren't getting players either.
Well, they were getting his kids. Once
his
one kid, his more talented son graduated or went to the NBA, then here we are.
They also were losing guys in the portal too.
Right,
So he wasn't retaining guys either. So it's about players. It's always every sport's about the players, and if you can get them, you got a chance to win.
All right, we've got you retained for another half hour, and then we hand it off to the Frangie Show. Leaderboard update coming your way, and we'll size it up as we head into the weekend with the players coming up on XL Primetime.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. It's Jacksonville's version of March Madness.
The Players' Championship.
Catch live Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard updates from the players. Brought to you by
Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic Service, and Air Conditioning. And Roundtree Sod.
On 1010XL.
Did you know Prime Roofing manufactures, fabricates, and installs their metal roofs? If you're thinking about a metal roof, think Prime Roofing. Schedule an estimate today at primeroofingfl.com. That's primeroofingfl.com.
Get ready for the Players' Championship, March 12th through 17th at TPC Sawgrass. Don't miss your chance to watch the PGA Tour's best compete to etch their name in history while enjoying a vibrant social scene. From local bites to the latest merchandise available in the PGA Tour fan shop, the Players offers the ultimate experience for everyone to enjoy. Secure your spot today. Tickets are on sale now at theplayers.com.
If you're getting engaged and want to spend way more than you should on a diamond, go ahead and shop the Big Chain Diamond Store. They love taking your money. But if you want the lowest price guaranteed, shop Beard's Diamonds.
Right now, get 5 years, 0% financing with nothing down.
Tired of running out of hot water? It's probably time for a new water heater. Call Duck Duck Rooter, the plumbing pros who specialize in water heater installation and service, including tankless water heaters, gas or electric. Call us today for service. DuckDuckRooter.com.
Quarterbacking can be complicated. Denny Thompson simplifies it for us.
Yeah, I want to tell you what's really happening at the quarterback position.
Friday mornings on The Drill. Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security and George Moore Chevrolet on 1010XL.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The 2024 NFL season is approaching fast, and the Jaguars are celebrating their 30th season. Be at the bank for all the big plays and big moments of this milestone year by locking in your season tickets now. With packages for every budget and exclusive perks throughout the season, there's no better time to become a season ticket member. Be at the bank for every touchdown and secure your seats by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000 today. We'll see you at the bank.
The experts at AMCO have been fixing cars for almost 60 years. Over that time, they've gotten more complex than ever. That's why our techs undergo rigorous training and certifications, so they can fix anything, including the most complicated repairs that come with some of the latest technologies. After 60 years, there's nothing we haven't seen or fixed. It's how we know cars inside and out.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. From complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Family owned and operated in Jacksonville, Orange Park, St. Augustine, and St. Mary's, Georgia.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. No credit cards, no car loan, no personal loans. Hey, it's Prosser here, and Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make that happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value's way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards, get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. So call now, 904-999-1508, 904-999-1508. That's loanpronto.com at 904-999-1508. NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
This is head coach Matthew Driscoll from the UNF men's basketball team. When our players suffer an orthopedic injury, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists gets our players back on the court pain-free.
We appreciate the endorsements from our high school and college coaches. This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. The next time you need orthopedic care, you can rely on our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Race into Gate for big offers. By big, we mean great deals on Red Bull and a chance to win tickets to the big race coming to Miami May 3rd through 5th. Buy 2 8.4-ounce cans of Red Bull, get one free. And if you're a MyGate Rewards member, you are automatically entered for a chance to win race tickets. Not a member? Download the Gate app and sign up today. See store for details. Go from good to Gate.
The Players' Championship. Here's a 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard update.
Round 2 of Players' Championship warming up quite a bit out there at TPC Sawgrass, 86 with a bit of clouds and a very light wind. Taylor Dahl here with your Players' Championship update. This update is brought to you by Vaughn Motor Group. Wyndham Clark sits atop the leaderboard with a 5-stroke lead on Matt Fitzpatrick, who is also done for round 2. Both of them in the clubhouse. Fitzpatrick finished round 2 at 9 under. Maverick McNeely also 9 under, and a group of players sitting at 8 under, including Matty Schmid, who has 3 birdies through 2 rounds in his first TPC appearance. He has never had more than 2 on a tour event, and no player has had more than 3 in Players' Championship history. Reigning champion Scotty Scheffler done for the day, finishing up at 8 under, along with Corey Connors, and a large group of golfers sitting behind them at 7 under, including JT Poston, Brian Harmon, both in the clubhouse. Jason Day just starting his day out, but he has 2 birdies through 4 holes, while Rory McIlroy also at 7 under. He started the day with a bogey, but since that has birdied his second hole of the day to keep him in that group of guys. Some names to keep an eye out for that have teed off recently. At Aberg, Ludwig Aberg, another first-timer on the tour, sits at 5 under. He is just starting his day off, along with Nick Taylor, who is 6 under par through 2 holes. Another Players' Championship update is coming to you in 20 minutes right here on 1010XL.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
I like what JJ's doing there. He's saying, you know what? We're going to go ahead and get our anthem on record as we get ready to hand it off to the Frangie Show with our normal Friday exit. We got a little more time, but, we got leaderboard updates. We got all kinds of things happening, and the Frangie Show will be coming up in just a little bit. So thanks to the Twisted Sister for giving us that mindset.
He is mood. A little twisted right now, by the way, D. Snyder. He's a little out there.
A little out there. Yeah. Listen, I only think of him with hair and makeup, honestly. That's all I think of. Lipstick and everything with the big hair heavy metal bands back in the day. All right, so our heavy metal band, wrap it up before we hand it off to the Frangie Show. And we said we'd look at that leaderboard one more time before we're done. But Taylor did a great job as far as kind of giving you the idea of where those players that were out early, how well they did, how well Wyndham did, and then can these guys in the afternoon make things interesting? I definitely think they can.
We also mentioned the Scotty Scheffler with Mark Carnevale on the All-Pro Roofing Hotline. Creak in his neck, as our friends in West Virginia would say, Matt Hayes.
Crick in his neck.
A crick in his neck. But still T4. Still just 6 shots back, of Wyndham Clark at 8 under is the defending champion. Also, how about Matty Fitzpatrick? I know he, akin to his countryman Tommy Fleetwood, especially around these parts, gets the unfortunate knock of saying that he's always the bridesmaid, never the bride on the Florida swing, never actually can pull out a victory. He is a major champion, though, and he is among the golfers in the top 5. He is currently 5 strokes back at 9 under, already in the clubhouse after carding a 69 earlier today. How about those guys who are in the afternoon group? Well, one of the leaders heading into today's second round. Xander Schauffele, 1 under on the day. He is through 4, so still early going for Xander. 8 under. I do believe Rory McIlroy, if he can put it together, he's 1 over already on the day. If they can put it together, those are guys that have the ability to surge up that leaderboard.
Mm-hmm. By the way, JoJo, the low round 2 is obviously Wyndham Clark at 700. Guess who's right there with him at 700 in round 2?
Yeah, who?
Our boy Brian Harman.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what.
After going
and
far
by the way,
one.
You know who's right after them? Our friend John Party's guy, Sahith Theegala.
Yeah, Sahith Theegala's up there, and he put some money on him, and I love it. But it was funny because, like I said, we were doing the pool, and I mentioned the Bulldog, okay?
Right.
That's who he is on the golf course, and so he's one of our group of 7. And there's too many Bulldogs to choose from because Chris Kirk, we actually had Chris Kirk and Brian Harman in our pack because Chris Kirk knows how to play this golf course. And he could watch paint dry and get excited over it, all right? He's that charming on the golf course. But at the same time, he plays his tail off.
He's a killer.
Yeah, and Keith Mitchell's the same way. Just a bunch of Bulldogs all over.
Yeah, Brian Harman may need to go back-to-back 65s on Saturday and Sunday to win it. But still, he's hot.
We need to bring those Bulldogs over to the Jaguars.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey.
A few of those Bulldogs over there.
Are you suggesting you will be targeting a Georgia Bulldog coach in the NFL draft? Is that to say?
Well, listen,
or
I guarantee you that he's going to be one of them that are around there. So I'm not sure what they're going to do.
Speaking of the Jaguars, we appreciate everybody in the conversation on the YouTube chat line, especially following our conversation regarding where Gabe Davis fits into this offense. Here you go, Coach. A couple from our Nooners, our stats and info department. Gabe is not a burner. He ran a 4.54, but has a knack for big plays. Thomas adds, Gabe's catches result in first downs 77% of the time.
Listen.
Gabe's a game day fast guy.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I don't really look at the 40 time. I look at when he runs and somebody's on him, whether or not he runs away from
He's running away from the third level, right.
He's got that.
Right.
I can tell you that right now. And I'm not dissing the guy. He's right. He is a 4.5 guy, but guess what? Game speed's a lot more important than 40 time.
Yeah, and I just love the number that Matt threw out as far as third down catches, move the chain catches. I can't stress how important that is. I know it's a backbreaker for a guy like you calling defense when you've got whatever it might be third and not just medium, third and plus, and they convert. Those are huge plays. And it was a high-octane offense up there. Let's not forget that.
No, I get that. But if you're talking about 8 out of every 10 catches are for first down, that's hardcore.
Hell yes. And
that's
this
hardcore.
team has the capability of having high-powered octane skill.
Also, you have to keep in mind that he wasn't the number one receiver. So on third down, guys are concentrating on other people. Well, that's fine. Let them concentrate on other people. When they throw to him, he makes the play.
Exactly.
That's the important thing.
Yeah, and so
he was their second leading receiver last year, by the way.
The last few years.
So I mean, he may not have been Stephon Diggs,
right?
But clearly, from those numbers, when third down arrived, that's where Josh Allen was going.
Yeah. And let's add one other element to it. You said he may not be Stephon Diggs. How about the fact that it's good that he's not Stephon Diggs?
Right.
Because Stephon Diggs he's been through a pout machine here over the last couple of seasons at the end of the year. Where
he's not like D. Snyder, same thing.
Yeah, slamming helmets, nodding heads. The nonverbal was not good. And that's what I think was one of the main ingredients for Josh Allen saying, hey, Gabe, you're going to be my guy when I need you most.
Right, exactly. And I think that's good for us because, this guy, if he's a steady, solid player, that's what you're looking for in that spot.
I know Joe C. also wanted to get to your overarching thoughts, Coach, regarding the injury history of some of these free agents. Is hope a strategy that all of those guys will stay healthy, or is depth still a concern for you for this Jaguars roster?
Well, it's hope more than anything else. I think when you do that, you bring in guys that have had an injury history. I've seen situations where a guy's never been hurt and he gets hurt. And then I've seen situations where a guy was always hurt that didn't get hurt and went the length of the time.
That's right.
I think you have to count on the fact that you're going to do the right thing in the offseason. He's going to do those guys are going to do the right thing in the offseason to give themselves a chance to not be injury prone during the season.
Yeah, simple as that. And I will probably do this list next week, but just out loud, Eric Armstead, meniscus, okay? Darby, 2 seasons of missed football games. All right, you start going down the line. Savage hurt up in Green Bay, and I'm trying to Mitch Morse with the concussions. And so anyway, it does add up a little bit. And
look, let's be intellectually honest here. Everybody has injuries. True. All these guys deal with injuries.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Right.
But
Calvin Ridley left without injury.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so that's the only thing I worry about a little bit.
Yeah.
Long in tooth and meniscus.
I agree. Yeah. That's not a good combination.
A little worrisome.
That's not a good combination.
Speaking of bad combinations, can I leave you all with a laugh before we say hello to the Frangie Show? All right, Nooner Nation, hope you're sitting down for this one. This is from one of the reporters up in Charlotte who covers the Carolina Panthers. New Panthers defensive lineman Kayla Von Chason was drafted in the first round by the Jaguars in 2020. Their defensive coordinator at that time, current Carolina defensive line coach Todd Wash. Not really sure that's who you want to be replicating, but go off, King, go off.
Yeah, and that, look, this team, when you talk about the departure of the coordinator and the addition of Ryan Nielsen, coach, that may be as big a free agent acquisition as anything.
Well, we're hoping that. I mean, I've heard nothing but great things about him, and to be honest with you, I know some guys that were in that room with him, where he's been, and they say the same thing, that he's a guy that organizes and he knows exactly what he's doing,
right?
And he knows what his team wants to look like. So when they take a defensive guy, they're taking a guy that guy knows what the guy looks like and whether or not he fits it, what he's doing.
Yep. All right, let's say hello to the Frangie Show coming up.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Tire Outlet. Tire Outlet is now hiring. Visit TireOutlet.com/careers. Equal opportunity employer.
All right, Lauren Brooks joins us now. You guys have been out on the golf course. You, the Frange. Has Hayes been out there with you too?
Yeah, Hayes has been out there too. We've all been in different places. I got here this morning around like 9-ish, so I wanted to get here for the majority of Scheffler's round, and certainly it was interesting to see the struggles that he had as far as his neck was concerned. I was about a foot from him when he was walking in into the players area, and so I'm sure he was going to get some more work done. But, I mean, absolutely gorgeous day. It is warm, so if you're coming out, make sure you hydrate with your water. But, Joe, what can you tell me about Maverick McNeely and Matty Schmidt? Because I know nothing about them.
Yeah, it's so funny because we were talking about Schmidt earlier, and it really is a good story. There are great golfers across the planet. We need to remind ourselves of that.
For sure.
We miss the other big names.
Right.
Matty
Schmidt, we're always so focused on certain names.
And so this was basically when the LIV was purging players, the DP World Tour was given an opportunity to come over and play some events. I was telling Tommy, Coach Campo's son, he played in the Barbasol and the Barracuda tournaments that you may not know a hell of a lot about. He used that to get a little status, went to the Korn Ferry Tour, got his card, and then comes over here and gets his full tour card, and he's playing well. Matthew Pavon, the Frenchman, from the DP World Tour top 10, he gets a card to play on the PGA Tour. He comes over and wins at Torrey Pines. That ain't easy to do. And so Schmid last week had a chance to win in Puerto Rico, kind of blew it on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I should have seen him when I was in Puerto Rico and stopped on by the golf tournament. And what about Maverick McNeely, obviously an American?
So Maverick is I think he might have broken a lot of Tiger Woods' records at Stanford. So he was another one of those, quote, phenoms that were going to just take off. He hadn't won yet. He's placed a lot, has been finishing high in the FedEx Cup, but he hasn't dotted a winner's circle yet. So McNeely would be a cool story, but he's right now more of a field horse than he is a star.
And does anyone really expect Wyndham Clark to not, it's not going to be wire to wire because he didn't finish in first, sole first yesterday, but Wyndham Clark right now looks incredible. So certainly a lot of fun golfers to watch on this golf course.
All right, so you guys will be doing that. And
absolutely. Some Jaguars talk, some college football as well. We're going to have a blast here until 6 o'clock.
All right, sounds good, Lauren. Thank you. All right, let's do a quick that before we hand it off to the Frangie Show.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
More quarterbacks on the move. The Pittsburgh Steelers are sending Kenny Pickett to the Philadelphia Eagles in a pick swap, according to Adam Schefter of ESPN. Once Pittsburgh signed Russell Wilson, he says Pickett preferred to move on. A fellow Monmouth County native getting a little bit closer to New Jersey, despite staying in the state of Pennsylvania.
Okay, now that obviously, as we get ready to get the heck out of here, well, is Russell going to come in there and, I don't know, compete? We all knew that was not going to happen. What say you when you hear the report, Matt?
It's a good fallback candidate. That's all.
Yeah.
It's a lot like Mac Jones. Same thing.
Yeah. Well, if you add up the guys that have been moving around, it's backup nomads.
From starter to backup.
Yeah.
Well,
it's backup nomads.
It sounds like the Mac Jones trade, Matt, because Philadelphia is the original home of the quarterback factory. That's what Andy Reid said he was going to do back when he took over in the late 90s, that they were going to bring in quarterbacks, they were going to develop them, and even if they weren't becoming their future, they could trade them off for future assets or just get them, as Mac Jones so eloquently put it yesterday, back on the tracks in their NFL career. And so curious, as everyone has critiqued Jacksonville and what Doug Peterson, who, oh, by the way, once upon a time learned from Andy Reid, is doing here in Jacksonville, you're now seeing Nick Sirianni and the crew in Philadelphia leaning back into what their roots are.
And by the way, when we mention backups that are going somewhere, the backup nomads, Gardner cashed about as good as any of them because he was not a Gardner a backup in the end. He was a starter, and he cashed a nice ticket out there in Vegas. All right, we are done. We say thanks to all that hung out with us, that dropped by to say, hey, you got the Francis Show with plenty more coming your way. Joe C., Mia O'Brien, Matty Hayes, Big Search. Thanks to Coach Campbell for coming and hanging out with us. JJ, tremendous job. We miss you, bro, but we'll send it back to JJville.
Come on, Joe. That ain't good enough. You gotta suck the blood out my mouth. Let's go, baby. Whoa!
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast